All right. I believe we are live. I hope we're live because we changed everything in the backside of the studio yesterday, actually. Let me know if you guys can hear me. First, we got to do some make sure we have audio's good. Everything's working correctly. Can everybody hear me? Hello? Hello? Chat. How we doing? Sounds good. Okay. So, yeah, guys, as we know, we've had a lot of technical difficulties on the stream. I went out and spent about as much money as you possibly can spend on a high-end computer. This thing is juiced to the tits. So I'm hoping we are going to be all good with technical difficulties from now on. All right. So I was hoping everything would work out good. Good. We got a good show for you. Good show for you guys planned today. Man, so much. It's like every 3 days, the amount of info dump we have to give you guys is just wild. So tonight, what are we going to talk about? We're going to first talk about, because it's fun, the video I put out today about Ghislaine Maxwell potentially just not being Ghislaine Maxwell in prison. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Michael Jordan, the GOAT. Oh, hot water. Don't know if you guys have seen this. We're going to talk about it. Pretty, yeah, just, it doesn't look good, which, I'll say as a 39-year-old, MJ is my GOAT. I grew up with Michael Jordan, and like many of you, absolutely love him. So we're going to talk about today, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. No. It's much potentially much worse than gambling. We're gonna look at those clips, talk a little bit about it. We're gonna talk about Howard Lutnick. Yes, Howard Lutnick. I found out some insane shit about Howard Lutnick and his connections to the World Trade Centers and 9/11, and the fact that he's obviously Donald Trump's handler. Ooh, that's gonna be a fun section. If you guys haven't seen this stuff already, it's gonna blow your mind. Gonna blow your mind on that. All right, then we're gonna talk about just all the newest, grossest shit that comes out of the Epstein files. Of course, I'll give you guys a trigger warning when we get to that section. Some new faces in the files, some fun new faces. Yes, a bunch of new people are getting drug up. And then we actually have two different sections we're going to talk about tonight. One section is all the people out there who are super based and are like crushing it right now in their response to the Epstein files. And then we're going to look at all the MAGA shills who are bending over backwards to try to defend pedophilia. Very, very odd. And then, yeah, we'll talk about just the weird stuff coming out of both Republicans and Democrats this week. So, and then, of course, our greatest allies got some bizarre shit going on because we're about to go to war with Iran, if you didn't know that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. All right, so that's the pretext to the show. That's what we're going to be talking about. Letting everybody... Yeah, feel free, guys. Your profile pictures of your dogs, we love that. We'll love to see that. That's a good trend to do here. And new mic? No, not a new mic. Microphone's the same. I think it looks better, too, in here because this computer is so jacked to the tits that it processes so much better than my old computer that it actually, I think, looks better, too, because it's rendering faster and all that. But no. We got... Same hardware, same microphones and everything. But we got a brand new computer and everything running the backside. So should be good. All right. How far are we? Once we were 5 minutes in here, we're going to kick the show off. Oh, I saw, who did I see do this? Ian Carroll does this, I believe, which I thought was a really cool thing to do when he kicks the stream off. He asks everybody to put where they're from in the chat. When I watch Ian, he does that, and it's super fun. So, guys, we're going to start that in our first 5 minutes when we let everybody filter in here. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Where are you turning in from? Let's see what we got. Wisconsin, Mars, San Diego. Okay. Our greatest ally, New Jersey, England, Ohio. Nice. Looks like do we got any foreigners in here? technically a foreigner. Of course, with the hockey profile picture coming in from Canada. North of Boulder, Sweden. Hell yeah, dude. Or Tina, sorry. Hell yeah, ma'am, I should say. All right, very, very cool. All right. Let's get this thing cracking, huh? Let's kick it off. Looks like we got enough people in here to get started. All right, I want to kick it off with just an old clip, because as we venture into the Big E files and everybody involved, I want to remind you of something. Who is the guy in the files? Well, we all know. We all know who the guy is, right? You could almost call it the Trump files. He's in the files, 20 times more than everybody else. And I want to show you this clip just so we can remember, for all the people who are trying to say that in 2006, after Epstein was already arrested, Donald Trump called the police and turned Epstein in, yada, yada, yada. Okay. How about we actually take a look at what Donald, lost it there for a second. You're working with a little bit new software here. It's got the layout's a little bit different. So take me a couple times to get used to this. That's okay. I want you guys to actually just take a little trip. God damn it. Sorry. Again, guys, the buttons are in different places here. So where it's usually share screen is remove screen. Okay. Yeah, now we're good. All right, let's see what Trump had to say about Epstein, back in the 90s when they were best friends.
I'm just devastated over what's happened. He's been a friend for a long time. A great guy.
Was he at your wedding?
Great guy. He was at my wedding. And
who did he bring to the wedding?
That's a Epstein. Why can't they ask a nice, simple business question?
I'll get to that.
It's irrelevant.
It was not Nicole.
It was not Nicole. I'm just devastated over what's happened. He's been a friend for a long time.
There you go.
A great guy.
Was he at your wedding?
Great guy. He was at my wedding. And
who did he bring to the wedding?
That's a Epstein. Why can't they ask a nice, simple business question?
So, yeah, what you called me a liberal because I don't like pedophilia? Is that, guys, hold on. I keep seeing this from MAGA. What I'm seeing now from MAGA is if you don't support pedophilia, you're a liberal. And so I guess, wait, are we down? Are we live, guys? Somebody said that YouTube's down. Who keeps saying this? Again, we're not going to play this game tonight. I'm going to be fucking banhammering people that start this because we got everything. Everything's good now. Are we good, chat? Okay. Yeah. Be very, very careful with your comments tonight. No audio, YouTube down. You're going to get hammered for that. Okay. So, again, yeah, here's what I'll say. If we've gotten to the point to where what constitutes between being a liberal or a conservative is whether or not you support pedophilia, because this is what MAGA is drawing the line in the sand. They're saying, if you don't support pedophilia, you're a liberal, then I'm a liberal, and I'm fine with that. And you can stake my name on that. I have no problems with that. If that's where we're like drawing the line, cool. I'm fine with that. Okay. I know MAGA really, 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 really likes pedophilia, but it ain't for me, man. So that's all I'll say with that. If you want to call me a liberal because I'm calling this shit out, then that's completely fine. I'll be a liberal in that case, if that's what anti-pedophilia means. So I'm sure most of you probably agree with that. All right, let's keep moving. Just wanted to set the tone. Oh, also a second one, just a little trip down memory lane, because we may have forgotten. Everybody already knew this about Trump. God damn it. Sorry, guys. It's going to happen a few more times tonight. The share screen is now where the old share screen is on this software is now stop share. So, okay, here we go. Let's hit it. Robin Williams comedy from the late 90s. Let's see.
Is the Wizard of Oz. He is the guy. It's a man.
Let me make sure we get this started from the beginning.
Trump is the Wizard of Oz. He is the guy. It's a man, he plays Monopoly with real fucking buildings. This is a scary man. And he owns all these beauty pageants, Miss America, Miss Universe. Isn't that a bit like Michael Vick owning a series of pet stores? Ooh. It's a fucking catch and release program for him. This is a man who said, my daughter is hot. Even people in Arkansas went, that's fucking wrong. That's just way out of place. And that fucking hair, my God. I believe the hair is the Donald. I believe that's it. I believe the body is a maintenance system for the hair. He goes home at night going, we're home. Hey, fuck it, let's get out of here now. I'll fuck her, let's do this. Donald Trump is...
So there you go. I mean, Hollywood's been calling this guy a pedophile since the 90s. We probably should have listened, you know? Probably should have listened, because again, that's Robin Williams in the 90s. It's almost like everybody knew about it. Now, again, obviously the rest of Hollywood is also, I should say is, not was, also all balls deep in this. Okay. But anyway, I just want to kick the show off with some funny old clips. Now we're going to talk about what I did the video on today, and that is Ghislaine, and I call her Ghislaine Maxwell. I know some people were like, her name's Ghislaine Maxwell. It's French. Yeah, I don't fucking talk in a French accent ever. I speak American. She's J-I-Z-Z Lane Maxwell. Are we good with that? Chat, we good with that? That's her name, Ghislaine Maxwell. Good. All right. Now, this is going viral today because this photo does not look like Ghislaine Maxwell. It does look like Mike Myers, however. And let's actually look at some side-by-sides, because these side-by-sides are absolutely wild. Here's the first side-by-side. The nose, the chin, and there's some better ones than even this. This is my favorite one. I want you guys to look at the ear placement to the eye placement. I mean, somebody tried to say their heads are not at the same angle. Yes, they are. Their heads are at the exact same angle. You can see from the bottom of the eyelid line, they draw it in the exact same place on both pictures. The ears, however, old Ghislaine's ears in this picture are well above her eye line. And whoever this Filipino man is, those ears are well below the eye line, almost half an inch probably further down than here. I don't know what you guys think, but actually, I'm going to find out what you guys think. Because, and again, the idea that they couldn't have swapped her out, I think, is ridiculous. Ridiculous at this point. We know that they obviously swapped out Big E from everything we've seen. So it actually kind of makes sense to me. I want to know what you guys think. Is that actually Maxwell? Let's pull this thing. Are we looking, and I'm going to pull up some new ones too here for you guys. Are we looking at the same person? Because the nose, unless she got reverse nose surgery, reverse rhinoplasty, and decided to add a bunch of thickness to the nose, which most people do the opposite of that. The eyelids also are glaring tell. As you see, her eyelids are a single slit eyelid. That's sort of how you would see with some ethnicities like Asian, right? This is a double slit eyelid. Two completely different eyelids. And her eyelids are like this in every photo you'll ever see. Just again, just little bizarre things that we've noticed here. And then here we go. This is actually the deposition. Let's watch this, huh? Scroll back just a little bit. I wanted you to listen to her voice.
But on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question. And
notice how she sounds like a German person trying to like speak in a British accent. It's very bizarre.
Any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Interesting. Kind of sounds like her. It's actually kind of hard to find videos of her speaking, but I did find some from an old deposition that I want you guys to listen to, because to me, this sounds like a different person. Let's listen.
Can you ask it a different way?
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls for sexual massages?
Objective Forum Foundation.
If you know.
So I don't know what you're talking about. So as far as I'm aware, a professional masseuse showed up for a massage. There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about that. And your mischaracterization of it, I think, is unfortunate.
Okay. So for me, guys, her voice sounds much softer. It also sounds to be in a higher tone. She also has like a perfect British accent. And then when we go back to that other one in her weird, again, this new look persona she's got, it's a completely different voice. It's a completely different, like the voice is deeper. It's much more grovelly. It's like almost a German language, German. Maybe not German, but it doesn't sound at all like that regular or like the one we just watched. Anyway, it's kind of bizarre. I don't know. I got to see what you guys think, actually. 91%, 92% believe that is not old Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't think it is either, guys. I mean, when I look at this is like, I don't know how you could possibly say that's the same person. Right? JD says the wood chipper doesn't discriminate. Like that can't be this is not the same person. Now, I've seen some arguments, and this is for the ladies. I think what we need to do is we need the ladies in the chat to answer this for us, because I'm not a guru on makeup and fillers and Botox and like all this stuff. So ladies, let's ask the ladies. All right. Is this like just a makeup thing, a contouring thing? She doesn't have the makeup on, right? Like her nose somehow is like way bigger. Ladies, because like does like Botox do like move your face around like this? The ladies know, right? Ladies say nope. Heather says nope. I mean, we got to ask the ladies. The ladies know. Okay, all the ladies are saying no, that's bullshit. That's not how it works. So, yeah, okay, good. That's why I wanted to ask the ladies in the chat first, because again, I'm no makeup expert at all. I don't know how this works. So if it was like, hey, maybe like, you guys can completely change where your ears are on your head and with Botox or something, and I just didn't know. That's what he said. Where's this? That's JD Vance or Hegseth. They love it. They love makeup. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about JD Vance and his makeup later, actually. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go with what the ladies. Okay. Literally all the ladies in the chat called bullshit on that one. All right, good. I thought so. I wanted to wait until we asked the ladies in the chat to make sure I felt like my opinion was probably pretty accurate too. Okay, cool. Okay, unfortunately now, oh man, we have to jump into the story that's just cracking off today. And that is MJ, the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Oh, if you guys haven't seen this, it's fucking weird. There might be some context to this. We're going to talk about it. I don't know what we're going to say, but let's actually watch the clip that is going viral that, it's not looking good, guys. There we go. Let's take a look at this and see what we think, huh? So this is the clip that's going viral. God damn it. Sorry, guys. I told you this was going to happen a few times. Okay. Here we go. This is the clip that's going viral. Let's I got to restart it. As you can see. So context, let's get some context first. Context is always important. What is actually going on here before we get to this clip? Michael Jordan, I believe, owns this race team. Was at Daytona 500. Okay. And so here's the context of where they are. And I'm not giving context for what we're going to watch, but like what is actually happening here.
What a day in Daytona. One of the greatest athletes of all time
gets to come to Victory Lane and hoist one of the greatest trophies of all time. Michael Jordan is a champion owner of the Daytona 500 with.
There we go. Okay, so he's the owner. Michael is the owner of the team, the Daytona team that just won. I don't know if this is NASCAR. I'm assuming it's NASCAR. Sorry, guys. I think it's NASCAR. I'm not a NASCAR racing guy. Sorry. But that's the context. Okay. Now, this is the clip that's going viral. Is JD in here? Me and JD Delay. We had a big conversation about this earlier. All right. We talked back and forth about is MJ a creepy pedo or is there some context to this? All right. Let's watch the clip first and then we'll talk about it. Yeah, that's not good. We're going to watch it a few times here. All right. So again, here is the trophy, I believe. This is the head driver. I believe this is the head driver's son. And here's MJ back here. And as you watch, there is some uncomfortable hand grabbing going on here. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, I know everybody's going, what, bro? What the fuck? Yeah. 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 Now, again, I'm not here. Just doesn't look right. Let's try to figure out this together, though. Okay. That's right. Like before, this is what I talked to JD about. Before we lose our minds, okay, let's think about some context here. I don't know if this is true, but this supposedly is what was actually going on. I don't know if this is true or not. We're going to need more context. But let's see what, I forget this guy's name. Content creators. You guys will know who they are. Let's see what they had to say about this.
Son had a chunk of ice. You can see that Tyler Reddick's son's shirt is completely saturated. And Michael Jordan trying to help a little kid out. Making those chunks of ice out of your back.
It initially looks shocking, and I think there's a reasonable explanation for it.
Yeah,
it looks like he's trying to get stuff out of his shirt and pants.
I think that's exactly.
It's shocking the first time you see it.
It
Like,
looked shocking. Please do your due diligence and realize that it was chunks of ice that were in the kid's back area by his waistline of his shorts. And Michael Jordan was not grabbing his ass. He was grabbing the cubes of ice to try to break them up and make them fall down. And they fell down on his legs and he wiped them off his legs. None of us are doing it just because we all love Michael Jordan, which we all do.
He wasn't in the Epstein files?
No.
Now, okay, so again, here's a good question. Is this cope? Is this cope? Now let's watch the clip back with context now. And again, I want you guys to think about this. Again, I'm not defending it because what I haven't seen, and I talked to JD about this, I haven't seen what they're trying to say is there's a bunch of ice down his shirt because they got ice dunked, right? I have not seen the clip of this child being involved in the ice dunk yet. Okay. But if we are assuming that is the context of this, and we go back, again, I'm not defending this. We're just working our way through it. Okay. Now, with the context of what we just saw, let's say this is the situation. Now, we know, based off, that's why I give the initial context, Michael Jordan's the owner of the team. This team won the Daytona 500. Okay, I believe that's the trophy. And this is the head driver. You can see that this kid is completely soaking wet, which makes me think probably was involved in an ice dunk, but I haven't seen it. If this is true, to where there's a bunch of ice that got dunked down the back of this kid, let's, again, hypotheticals, let's watch the clip now under that assumption and see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, what do we think? What do we think? I don't know. Doesn't look good. I also didn't see any ice fall out of the shirt. Let's see. Let's see what you guys think. Again, there's no video I found, and typically the way this works, we'll see some videos in the future. I've tried to find a video of a Gatorade bucket, like when you win the Super Bowl, you get dunked with a Gatorade bucket. I can't find any videos yet of the kid getting hit by the bucket, but we're going to do a poll, see what you guys think. And again, MJ's not in the files. And I'm going to show you another clip, though, that this isn't the first time MJ's been on camera doing this, by the way. All right. MJ helping kid or not. So you got helping the kid with ice. And you just got creepy pedo. Those are your options. Helping the kid with ice in his shirt or creepy pedo. And it's the GOAT. It's MJ. Also, JD had a very good point about this. JD was like, whether this is creepy or if he was actually trying to help this kid, he picked the wrong week. He picked the wrong week to get caught on camera grabbing at a little kid's backside. At a minimum. Guys, I'm not saying what I feel like. Yeah, we're going through this together, and then we're gonna make sure, and then we're gonna give our collective take. Okay. Again, what we don't want to do right out the gate is with a tiny 6-second clip with zero context, immediately say this is bad. However, again, I am not finding any context that makes this like corroborated that this was because of ice. So it just kind of looks fucking creepy. And now what I'm going to show you guys, because I found this later, since looking for everything, we're going to watch some other stuff from MJ with kids here. So let's watch this for some context. Has he done this before?
Now here's me.
I mean, this is old. This is from like the early 90s. I'm going to turn the music off because it'll probably get copyrighted. Watch here. Gatorade commercial. Uh-oh. What's that? MJ. MJ was slapping kid butts in the 90s and Gatorade commercials too, guys. Here's one more. Let's look at it again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Shit, I can't see it. My bad, guys. Here we go. Again, sorry, software. All right, let's watch together. I'm learning the new software. Gotta give me a day or two to get it. All right, let's watch together. Sound off. Gatorade commercial. All right, here we go, right here. Uh-oh. Oh, you guys can see it now. All right. Let's watch it one more time. Bang, bang, bang. No video. What do you mean no video? Can you guys not see that? Yeah. Okay, you guys can't see it. Okay. So, I don't know. Is that innocent? Is it not innocent? You know, when you look back in the 90s. I'm going to say this, okay? Here's my take. Overall, I personally don't think that MJ's trying to be a creep here. At all. You know, it's not just because he's Michael Jordan. It just looks like he's most likely, you know, whether he's trying to help that kid out or he's excited and patting him on the butt, whatever. I mean, how many of us played athletics when we were kids in the 80s, 90s? Getting smacked on the butt by your coach, you know, like that was completely normal. I just don't see the ill intent here personally. And some people might get upset about that. But yeah, I don't what is this? Wait, who just said this? talking about one of the biggest things in the news is far, far beneath me. All right. You know what? I can't tonight. Like, I'm not in the fucking mood for people like this. We're literally talking this through together to see, like, is that you have what do you have such a problem with? Anyway, I don't know what you guys think. Let me check the poll because I haven't looked at the poll yet. 63% says innocent helping the kid with ice. 37% says creepy pedo. Majority of people think that this is innocent. So again, that I'm on with that too. But again, we got to see a little bit more context to that, right? But I don't know. I just think I think it's just like JD DeLay said. It's an unfortunate week to have a clip like that hit the news when the entire world is obviously pissed off about pedophilia, which it should be. It's just a couple of bad takes. Explain a bad take. Nope, you're fucking gone. I just not even doing this. What's my take? Holy shit. I'm just gonna ban fucking everybody tonight. I'm just gonna be watching for it. You got some fucking retards in the chat tonight. Wow. Wow, with some fucking retards in here. You got JD in here. Again, we've talked about this one. Again, looks creepy, but to me, I don't know. It just looks like Mike fucking smile on his face, happy as shit that they just won the Daytona 500. Maybe he's trying to smack the ice out of the kid's shirt, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. Chat agrees with me anyway. So majority of people agree with me. So we're moving on. Okay. Let's talk about one of the wildest things here. That is Howard Lutnick, Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary, and one of his best friends. I'm sure you guys are aware of the controversy here. What happened with Lutnick is Lutnick was, if you don't know the context, Lutnick was Jeffrey Epstein's next door neighbor for 15, 20 years. And also he was in business with Jeffrey Epstein, best friends with Donald Trump. So, that's pretty odd to begin with. But the problem for old Lutnick and why he's under so much fire is he said this before the recent files came out. He claimed that he stopped all contact with Big E in 2005, I believe.
And I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person. Really? So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Did you, in fact, make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children.
Ooh, that makes it grosser. I know he's saying that like it's a good thing, but the fact you brought your children to Epstein's island, yikes.
And nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife.
Keep in mind, this was in like 2013, I believe, like 8 years after he claimed he cut off all contact.
All together, we were on family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was anything untoward about that in 2012, I don't recall why we did it, but
Mr. Secretary.
So he's a fucking liar. He should be fired fucking immediately. He is the easiest. Is YouTube actually down? I've seen this comment hundreds of times. What is actually going on? Chat, we're going to take a break. Is there something going on with YouTube I don't know about? There might be. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Main page is down. This actually makes sense, guys, because we have like 1/5 the viewers we usually have on Tuesdays. So that actually does make sense. JD's calling me real quick. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hello? I was just talking to the chat about that. I'm like, why do I have like 1/5 the viewers I usually have? But YouTube's down.
You're watching you, brother. I just wanted to let you know they're not trolling. Please.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I did. It just okay. We'll talk about it. All right. All right. My bad, guys. All right. I've never seen YouTube go down ever. And so when people are spamming it in here, I figured obviously you're trying to fucking troll, but it turns out YouTube is down. We're hanging in there, but again, I was like, well, why do we only have 2,500 people in here? We usually have about 8 to 10,000 on Tuesdays. Okay, that makes sense. YouTube's having technical difficulties. All right, got it, guys. I'm sorry if I banned you because you said that. Just email me. I will unban you. Okay, sorry. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, this is like never. Think about this though. This is how funny this is, guys. We've been dealing with unfucking technical difficulties on my side for like 3 weeks, right? I had to go out and buy all new hardware, brand new computer to make sure we're good to go. And the first night I use all this high-end shit, YouTube's down. And so I'm like, ah. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Got it. All right. No big deal. All right. Let's keep moving. So again, with Howard Lutnick, this motherfucker lied. Straight up lied. He claimed he cut off contact with Epstein after Epstein was prosecuted. And that's not true. It's not even remotely true. You're still going to his goddamn island, bro. And we're going to look at some other things. I'm going to blow your mind with Lutnick and his ties to some other things. But let's actually watch Lutnick and Trump talk about the files, because this was before Lutnick's name came out. Let's just watch his face.
You don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff.
Yo, he did not just say.
Yeah, the Epstein stuff's super boring.
It's boring. I didn't even see this.
This asshole on the right, you see this asshole that's about to laugh? Push play, he's gonna laugh.
Pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that
Yeah.
going.
No,
But
funny,
incredible
Piece of
information.
shit standing next to Trump. You know who the fuck that is? That's Harold Lutnick. Harold Lutnick.
All right. We don't need to go any further than that because I'm going to show you who this guy is. So, again, yeah, laughing, how funny he thinks it is. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Again, that was before Lutnick was named in the files. But what was the White House's response, guys? This is like the easiest fire ever, right? The easiest fire ever. Do you think they're going to fire him? You guys think they're going to fire Howard Lutnick? Well, no, of course they're not going to fire Howard Lutnick, even though he was caught lying and was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, lied to Congress, lied to the American people. Why would you fire him for that? Yeah, the White House says it will stand with Howard Lutnick despite him taking his children to Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile island for vacation. Secretary Lutnick remains a very important member of President Trump's team. That's from Carolyn Levitt. The president fully supports the secretary. And then again over here, a little JD Delay wood chipper meme. Yes, no, they fully support Howard Lutnick and him being a little pedophile. Now, let me show you guys something because I bet you haven't seen this. You guys remember that little event that happened in New York in 2001 at the World Trade Center? I can't actually say the date because YouTube will automatically flag this episode. You're not allowed to talk about it, but you guys remember that event, right? Well, guess who was one of the CEOs at one of the main companies at the World Trade Center when that happened? Howard Lutnick. Now, look what I found. We had to do a little digging, but what is this? It's going to get very, very interesting as we talk about who this man actually is after you see this interview.
Cantor employees at the Trade Center, only 300 are accounted for at this time, and none was at the building at that time. This immense human loss has truly devastated the chairman and CEO, Howard Lutnick. Normally, you would have been in your office on which floor?
105th floor. On the
105th floor. And yet you didn't go in early that morning because of a critical decision you made.
My little boy, I have a 5-year-old, and it's his first day of kindergarten at Horace Mann. So I took him for his first day of big boy school. And because of that, I was late getting down to the office. And therefore, I wasn't in the building. I was on my way to the building.
Imagine that. Howard Lutnick, a billionaire Jew. And it's interesting that all the billionaire Jays just didn't show up to work that day. You guys know that, right? He's not the only one. There's quite a few of them. Now, how might he have known not to show up that day? Well, a lot of people think that Howard Lutnick is Donald Trump's Mossad handler. I probably should have used some code words to that there, but that's what most people think. Most people think that Howard Lutnick is Donald Trump's handler. And so if you rewind back to that event and you start thinking about, I don't know, dancing Israelis and, Mossad organization. Well, if he was part of that and he just happened to not be there during the attack, now just what a coincidence, Howard. What a fucking coincidence that you obviously work for Mossad. You just suspiciously weren't there during the attacks on that day. And now you're the handler for the president of the United States. Hot being best friends with Big E. Guys. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that just a lot of coincidences? But don't worry, they're not going to fire him. Well, except for the Kalshi odds. Looks currently, it's about a 50-50 shot. 50-50 shot with the Kalshi odds right now that Lutnick gets removed. But here's why I don't think he's going to get removed. And I'm sure you guys could probably already guess why. But the Mooch talked about this, and I think he had a great point. Talking about why Donald Trump won't fire or cannot fire Lutnick.
Fire. I'm going to tell you why. Because Lutnick is such a loose cannon and a weirdo. He's got the dirt on Trump. He could pull the metaphorical suicide vest on the way out and take Trump out with him. There's a reason why Bannon got the pardon. You know why Bannon got the pardon? Because Bannon had the goods on Trump and the nefarious activity that was going on during the campaign. And so Trump went to Bannon. You're not going to squeal on me, right? Well, I'm not going to squeal on you if you pardon me. They pardoned him. Caddy, this is my opinion. Wink, wink, Caddy. It's my opinion, okay? Because I have to say that shit, but this is my opinion. Trump can't fire.
Yeah. I would probably agree with that, guys. You can't get rid of him. He knows everything. He's got everything on him. And so he'll continue to be the Treasury Secretary, even though he's caught lying about being, again, best friends with Epstein. Now, what's interesting about this is while the United States still has not arrested anyone for anything regarding the files, the rest of the world is starting to do this with their billionaires who are in the files. As you see here, the King of England is talking about criminal charges for his own brother for his association with Big E. Meanwhile, America can't even get rid of Howard Lutnick. Think about that, guys. The royal family already stripped Prince Andrew of all his titles, and now they're looking at criminally charging him. Criminally charging him. But also, Dubai. Sultan also got fired. We're going to talk about a few other ones. This is happening. You know who else got fired, guys? Or arrested? Epstein's pilot. has been arrested in Brazil.
Você tá com mandado de prisão, tá? Você sabe o motivo já? Não?
We can't understand that. At least I can't. So think about this. They managed to arrest his pilot in Brazil, but still have not arrested a single person, a single pedophile that's actually in the files. Here's another one. Norway is also hammering their former prime minister. He was arrested at his home today following the emergence of his links to Big E on charges of gross corruption. More charges expected to be brought against the former prime minister. Interesting. So Norway's arresting a former prime minister over his connections to Big E. But we sure as shit aren't. You know? That's interesting to me. Is it that interesting to you guys? That everybody else can arrest their pedophiles in the Epstein files, but we can't. We can't do it. All right. Let's hit some super chats before we get too far. Thank you so much, everyone. And then we're going to talk next about. Next is going to be the gross section, guys, and it's real gross this week. So again, there's going to be some heavy trigger warnings. We'll get that. Let's get a couple super chats before we get too far behind. Release the MJ files. Yeah. It's amazing that you have technical difficulties considering you're covering the E files. It's not me this week. We're actually good. We've been good. The new computer's doing great. They're all lizards. Keeping up dog picture trend. Hell yeah, buff like Jesus. We'd love to see it. Oh, you got 2 working dogs, dude? Oh my God, bro. Are you retired? How the hell do you have enough energy to keep these 2 dogs? Keep them moving. My God. Bobby says, body by ramen doesn't change your bone structure. Just saying. Yeah, 100%, Bobby. Pat Frog says, saw someone had said, this is a conspiracy has become, what are you going to do about it? I'm a nonviolent person, but my blood is boiling. Yeah, it's gone from being a conspiracy to them bragging. At this point, with zero accountability, they're just bragging about the things that they did. And they're basically saying, you guys aren't going to do anything. My shepherd and pit to bring joy to a dark time. Oh, those are good looking babies right there too. Bobby says, so new commuter means we don't need protection. Well, we still need some protection from our greatest ally. Huron, California. Hell yeah. That's a good looking. What is that? Can't tell what type of pup you got there. Looks like a pit bull mix. Salem, Oregon. Shit, man. I'm in Junction City. I'm just south of you, brother. All right, 2 more and when we're jumping back in. If you're having streaming issues, again, control, delete, task manager. You can see your CPU usage. See what's driving down. We're not anymore. We got a brand new mega powered computer. Spent way too much money on it. All right, Joni says, what's up, Nate? I missed a couple lives. Thanks, buddy. No problem, bro. Glad to have you here. Paige, you're cool. Thank you. You're cool. You know that? All right, one more, then we're going back to it. Damn, YouTube crashing. Can only watch on the phone, watching from Indiana. All right, so there you go. Actually, YouTube was crashing. Does make sense. Does make sense because we're missing about 5,000 people tonight. But that's okay. We're going to keep moving. Okay. So let's jump into, and again, trigger warning. If you guys, any victims of SA or anything like that, be advised, this is really, really gross stuff. This has come out since Friday. So let's jump into it. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this, but we're going to start off with this one because if you're my age, if you're a millennial and you guys remember going and getting your pictures taken as children. So the Epstein files, Leon Black, who was the CEO of LifeTouch, the company that, yes, took pictures of all of us when we were elementary school kids. You remember that? Well, released Epstein trafficking notes reveal multiple women accusing billionaire Leon Black of brutal SA inside of Big E's home, including a minor who was just 7 to 8 years old. Another victim was 16. She describes bleeding after an assault and was denied medical care, then flown out of New York the next day. Leon Black founded Apollo Global Management, the largest publicly traded private equity fund on earth. Disgusting allegations. Yes. So again, this guy is one of the most, and again, as you can see here, accused of violently biting the blank of a 7-year-old child. So fucking yikes. Disgusting, right? Yeah. Yeah, it is really disgusting. But there's some ties to this, okay? Let's keep moving here. Yeah, this stuff's hard to read, man. Okay, again, Epstein docs reveal Life Touch, our yearbook photo company, aided in scouting kids. Yearbooks were their creepy catalogs, not just memory books. Why no national crackdown on these creeps? Yes, they literally used Life Touch as a way to catalog young children to find children for trafficking. It's fucking gross. Now, schools are canceling picture day because of a wave of concerned parents who don't trust the school company, Life Touch, after they've been tied to Big E via billionaire Leon Black. Yeah, I would highly suggest all of you. I'll tell you this. My kids are in middle and high school. They will never, ever, ever get school photos again. Never. My kids will never, ever, ever get school photos again. Now that they know that. Now, what if I told you that Donald Trump is heavily connected to Leon Black? Would that shock you guys? Would I shock you if I told you that? Would that blow your mind if you found out that Donald Trump was heavily connected? Would that be crazy? Well, it turns out that he is in multiple ways, actually. First of all, his son. Yes, Leon Black's son. As it says here, the J American investor Leon Black, who paid $158 million to Big E, was discussed in the E-Files as dangerous because he bit children's private parts. What's insane is that his son currently works in the Trump administration. Oh, yep, and there's his son, Chief Executive Officer at the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. There you go. Yeah, his son, just hired by Donald Trump. Now, what else? Oh, look who it is. Look who we found, guys. Yep. Here's a photo of Leon Black, who, again, paid Big E $158 million and barred 7-year-old children, hanging out and partying with his buddy, Donald Trump. Yep. Isn't that interesting, guys? Isn't that interesting how MAGA will tell you that Donald Trump is completely exonerated from everything, but everywhere we look, he is tied to vicious pedophiles? Isn't that interesting how this keeps happening? It just keeps, yeah, and they're deleting, guys, if you haven't seen this, I'm going to cover this as well. They are actively deleting any files with Trump's name off of the files they already released. And it's like, dude, guys, like Ian Carroll's web app exists. It already downloaded all the files. Deleting them off the Justice Department website because they have Trump's name in it isn't going to help. Yes. So, and here's what's so stupid, guys. You guys know you can search a name and the Justice Department will tell you how many searches come back. Well, we've known Donald Trump's name is in the files 38,000 plus times. But what's happening now is every time you search, the number Donald Trump's name is returned goes down and 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 down, and has been for days because the Justice Department is actively deleting any files that's got Trump's name in it. And it's like, you fucking idiots already released that batch of the files. There's no takebacks. We have them already. But they're still doing it. Okay. Now, yeah, let's talk about like some more gross people. I'm sure you guys have seen this one. Sultan bin Salam. Yes, he is the torture guy. Yeah, the torture video guy. But he also has a bunch of emails also talking about 2 girls he received from Big E. He told Big E the Moldovan was disappointing, but the Ukrainian is very beautiful. We're going to talk about Ukraine and how this all ties in. So yeah, but again, I believe Dubai has arrested him, or at least fired him from his positions. Gets even worse, don't worry. Again, we're in the trigger warning, disgusting fucking people that are tied to this. Here's some more. The Big E files claim that a UAE diplomat slept with Epstein and then presented her 13-year-old sister to him to secure a position at the United Nations. Yeah. And here's all the emails corroborating that. Yes. This woman, not only did she sleep with Epstein, she trafficked her own 13-year-old sister to Epstein for a job position. It's just this world, man. Okay, keep moving.
Les Wexner has now been unredacted as a co-conspirator with Epstein. We were informed by Kash Patel and Pam Bondi that Epstein had no co-conspirators.
There was no client list.
Yeah, and regardless of the client list, they said Epstein acted alone. There are no co-conspirators, which means when they testified before Congress that there were no co-conspirators, they perjured themselves.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah, it's all falling apart. And I'm not a Thomas Massey fan for a lot of other things, but I got to stand by him with this. I mean, he's just been relentless. He's one of the only people. So,
Dan,
I think it's important to remember in this situation, like it's not a Republican versus Democrat kind of situation,
right?
It is a good versus very clearly evil situation.
The fact
that I think is so important. So important. What he just said at the very end is so important. This is not a left versus right. This is a good versus evil. And I've drawn hard lines in the sand, obviously. And when you're a MAGA influencer who's trying to defend this shit, you're fucking evil and you're disgusting. And I say MAGA influencer because MAGA is the only demographic that's trying to protect this. And guys, I'm going to show you dozens of clips from these MAGA influencers trying to defend this. Or trying to make Epstein seem like he's not actually a trafficker. He's not actually a pedophile. I mean, these people, this, like I said, this is good versus evil. This is not, we're talking about an international child trafficking, Satanist, eating children. Like, it's the easiest thing ever. It's the easiest thing ever to be on the right side of this. To be on the right side of history on this issue, it's literally the easiest thing ever. And MAGA is somehow getting the bet on it. Here's some more. Grab your butts, because it's going to get bad. Yes, Biggie emails expose disturbing parties for hunting black people. And we know Biggie was incredibly racist, and so he would not let black victims come around for the essay. But apparently, as you can see here, redacted, of course, from, why would they tell us who sent this? Going to Mean Lana's party now to hunt. And the response, guess what? They're in words from Jeffrey Epstein. Thanks, thrilling hunt. And who wrote that? A fucking Rothschild. You can't make this up. Can't make that up. I know there's a lot of bro what, but it's in the fucking files. That's in the emails. You guys know, how many movies have they made about super wealthy people hunting like poor people they capture on islands? Think about that. How many movies have they made about that? Tons of movies about that, right? Turns out they were making movies about that because the shit was fucking happening. Yikes. Okay, get ready, because again, it just keeps getting worse. And we're almost done with the absolutely disgusting stuff, I promise, guys. But again, it's important. I think this is important for us to show this type of stuff. People should know about all of the absolute worst shit these people were doing. People in our country should know this. They should know this was happening. Yes, all the elite billionaires that run everything were doing these things. And it's gross. It's hard to listen to. It's hard to watch, but it's important that people know about this. Here we go.
Dr. Mark Landon, the head of the OBGYN department at Ohio State Medical University, has been...
Also, guys, do you know how often Ohio is tied into all of this and all these people? We'll talk about it after.
receiving payments from Jeffrey Epstein for years. And you automatically know what the fuck he was doing for Epstein. He was delivering babies that nobody wanted. He was getting rid of babies, and he's treating STIs. That's what he's doing. He is the gynecologist that was referenced in the other emails in the Epstein files. What gynecologist do you take your victims to? It's that motherfucker. It's that motherfucker. Take his fucking license and throw his ass in the deepest, darkest dungeon under the Red Keep.
Yeah, buddy. And final one here. If you were wondering why Pam Bondi isn't doing anything about anything regarding this, well, here's Pam Bondi photographed with Keith Frankel, who was in the Epstein files almost 500 times. And there's an email. Oh, we don't have it here. We'd have to look it up. But there's an email of Keith Frankel talking about body boxes with Big E. And so, why might Pam Bondi be covering up the Epstein files? Well, because she's heavily connected to the people involved. Also, do you guys know who was the Attorney General of Florida during this whole time when Epstein was running a child sex trafficking ring? You guys know who that was? Do you know who was the Attorney General for Florida during all of that? Oh, that's right. It was Pam Bondi. Yes, Pam Bondi has been covering up for Epstein for a decade and a half. A decade and a half she's been covering this up. So of course she was put in as Attorney General. Is it starting to make sense now? She's been covering up for Trump and Epstein and all these pedos in Florida this entire time. And now she gets to do it at the highest level. She's been covering up for pedos for 15 years. It's just, and it's like, we know it now. We can see it. We know that like the internet exists. We can look all this stuff up. Now, let's start looking at some new names that you may not have seen yet that have popped up in the files. Again, people are still trying to work through these 3.5 million documents, guys. That's why more and more of this is coming out every day from the files. Well, another Trump admin. There's just a lot of them in the Trump admin that are in the files. Yes, Dr. Oz, unfortunately, is in the files. Invited Epstein to his Valentine's Day party. Dr. Oz. That's too bad. Who else we got? Oh, Kevin Spacey. This one's not shocking at all. Who's that? Yes, Ghislaine Maxwell. Kevin Spacey sitting on Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip's thrones at Buckingham Palace in 2002. Huh. And yeah, it really is a big club, isn't it? Really is. Who else? Well, you guys have seen this. But yes, RFK. This is actually an older one.
You weren't ever on Jeffrey Epstein's jet, were you?
I was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet 2 times.
Unfortunate, because I like RFK. But that's not the worst of it. Also, we know that RFK was also going on dinosaur bone fossil hunting trips with both Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Again, Trump administration, everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. People in the Trump administration seem to be buddies with Epstein. Here's just a few gross ones that you may have, I'm sure you've seen, but we really didn't think much about it in the past. Here's Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein, Ellen DeGeneres. You know these fucking people were eating kids. Let's see what they're talking about here. Ellen to Harvey Weinstein.
Hat, and I thought I'd pass it around and get some money for the pizza because nobody ever really. What do you have, Harvey? 200. This is start. This is start. Let's see. What do you have, John? Would you have 20?
Kevin Spacey, of course.
That's for you.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Your stock just went up. You got some money now with pizza.
John Travolta?
Take that. What is that? Lupita's lip balm. That's worth something.
Super funny talking about being refunded for the pizza. And the first two people that stand up and give money are who? Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, with Ellen DeGeneres, who, by the way, if you guys didn't remember, her entire set is a mock-up of Jeffrey Epstein's island. They've been doing this in front of our fucking faces the entire time. The entire time. Guys, they've been throwing this in our faces. Look at this one. This is Demi Moore with a 13-year-old boy. I've seen this before. I thought it was gross back then. There we go.
Okay, one more time.
Yeah, we're not going to listen to that garbage singing. I'm going to turn it off because it actually continues, I believe, and she does it again. Here we go.
I don't know. Maybe just because I love them all and I hope they all love me. We do love him. And I love them.
Okay. That's a 13-year-old boy with Demi Moore. And I saw those clips like 10 years ago and was like, wow, that's gross. But we weren't really thinking about these things in this way 10 years ago. They've been doing this shit forever, guys. That's blatantly on camera. And that clip's been around forever. 13-year-old. It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. Next section we're going to get into is actually the people who have good takes. Good takes. And then we'll get into the people who have terrible takes and are defending pedophiles after that. But I wanted to do the good takes first. Before we do that, let's hit a couple super chats. I don't want to fall too far behind, okay? And then we're jumping into the good takes. Good takes. YouTube crashing, can only watch my phone. Watching from Indiana. It makes sense. Makes sense now, guys. I can see we're might be starting to get worked up. We're starting to get our viewers actually pumped into the show now. Pretty wild. All right. Nemlos, I can never say your name, brother, but appreciate it. Nate, have a look at Law & Order SVU episode 15, season 12, flight from 2011. I'm sure actually this is one of my wife's favorite shows, so I'm probably have already seen the episode, but I will actually take a look at it because you're right. There probably could be some relevant stuff, especially with that show. I'll take a look at it. Thanks, brother. Much love from the Netherlands. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Backman's back, coming live from Rhodesia. Keep up the good work. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Stream is fine. YouTube app is fucking up. Yeah. It's just that's the way it had to be, guys. We find my stuff is working fantastic tonight. Finally. And then of course YouTube's got issues. It's just the way it is. Viewers, ensure your stream is live before comment. Ooh. A lot of dog pictures and cats from birds from Michigan. I like animals way more than I like people. Hardaway, this is the story of my life. This is the story of my life. We got our new cow. I got this from Valentine's Day from my wife. You know why I got this? You guys want to know why I got this for Valentine's Day from my wife? Because the new house we're buying, we've actually got a little bit of land. We got 7 acres. And so I'm like, we're buying cows. Obviously, I'm buying long-haired Highland cows. And my wife was like, you're fucking crazy. No, you're not. And so she got me this cow. This is the cow I get to have. Fortunately. Little does she know that I'll just show up with like 2 cows eventually. But for now, that's all we got. But we love animals too, man. We love animals on the chat. Way more than people. I love animals way more than I like people. That's for sure. Can you ask your buddy JD Delay if he ever dropped the soap on purpose? He's probably in the channel. He was in the channel earlier. Ask JD yourself. Ask him yourself. I doubt it. JD's a big boy. I have a feeling he was probably not the one dropping soap, if you know what I mean. Welcome to the left, brother. YouTube is having issues, but you're good. Main page of YouTube isn't loading properly. Got it. Hey, looks like YouTube is down. If you refresh back out, the stream goes down. Well, good thing we haven't had to refresh the stream like we usually do when my microphone goes down. Okay, 2 more, and then we're jumping back in. Be nice if Candace Owens got the new Ghislaine's DNA. That'd be interesting. Guess we're all liberal now, brother. Yeah, wood chipper time. Yeah, like if that's what it means to be liberal, we're all liberals now. Pretty sure Ain't Her did several checks. The eye ear thing is the most obvious. She also seems to have a scar on her forehead. Not sure if it's there. Good point. That's Team Who Maxwell. Wonder if they got Epstein's buddies overseas out of a prison like they did him. Maybe. All right, 2 more and then we're out of here. My first thought, she was pregnant, God forbid, and had pregnancy nose. The unlucky ladies know. I have no idea what this means, but I think the ladies probably do. Natty, thank you. All right, last one. Realist says, thanks for being loud on this topic with your platform, Nate. Appreciate everything you do. And off topic, what kind of vest is that behind you? Been meaning to ask you for days. HRT Tactical's vest. So if you look up HRT Tactical, that's their vest. I've got a bunch of different ones. That's the one I keep here in the office in the event I need to throw it on. And there's a bunch of things behind this chair that you guys can't see if someone were to decide to get a little crazy in here that we could grab. Okay, let's jump back into the show because it's about to get fun. All right. Now, good takes. This is probably the GOAT of the Epstein files in a good way. Norman Finkelstein. Yes, literally the only person in the emails who openly told Big E and Alan Dershowitz to go fuck themselves. If you're not familiar with Norm Finkelstein, the absolute based GOAT of our greatest ally in that content, he's a G, dude. He's been a G when it comes to all this. And of course, yes, legend, dude. Literally told Big E to go fuck himself in an email when Big E wanted to meet him, wanted to get a hold of him, and he said, fuck you. All right. Now, I know he's had some horrible fucking takes lately, especially on Epstein, but we got to show these 2 clips because even when he's doing crazy shit, he'll also come back around with some of the best takes you'll ever see, and that is from Fuentes. Yes, we got some Fuentes clips. Again, these ones are good. It is what it is. Let's see what he had to say.
So I'm telling you, this Epstein thing, this is the albatross. This is the rotting, infected wound in the center of the Trump movement. It is going to kill it slowly, and I cannot wait.
Yup.
Cannot wait. I hope the Epstein scandal costs them the midterms.
It will.
I hope it allows Democrats to impeach and indict and subpoena every member of this Trump government.
They will.
And I hope that this goes on until 2028. And I hope that this piece of shit Trump administration brings down J.D. Vance with it.
Boom.
I fantasize about the Trump administration being a burning building and J.D. Vance is chained to the mattress and he's going to burn with it. I cannot fucking wait because it couldn't happen to a more deserving person and group of people than these. That's my hope. That is my aspiration. And out of the ashes of this disaster, we can actually get something real.
Boom. Could not have said it any better myself. Again, he's had some bizarre fucking takes recently. We've been given a real hard time on the channel, and rightfully so. And then he fucking comes around and you're like, God damn, dude. Absolutely nailed it. Left, right, and center. Not very many people are going to disagree with what we just watched. Other than hardcore MAGA. We got another one. I'm telling you guys, if somebody said broken clock is right twice a day, he got another one. He got another one this week that was also a banger. Let's take a look.
Embrace that, whatever that was, the Kid Rock halftime show, we're cooked. And you can do whatever you want with that. You can say that, I'm only saying that because I'm Mexican and whatever. You can cope, but that's the truth. It's like some white trash country hip hop artist from Detroit from the 90s. And the other is like, no, we are the world. Like our message isn't even political. Our message is just the way things are. If we embrace that, whatever that was, the Kid Rock halftime show, we're cooked. And you can do whatever you want with that. You can say that, oh, I'm only saying that because I'm Mexican.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It was garbage. It was garbage. Again, that's the thing with Fuentes, man. Is like, he'll say some of the most cringy shit ever where you're like, dude, what is wrong with this guy? You never support him. And then he'll turn around and he'll drop shit like that where you're like, why can't you be like that all the time? Because you're absolutely crushing. But again, it's just, it's wazoo all over the place. But again, we're doing good takes. Good takes. Doesn't matter who the people are. Just good takes. And you know who else has had some good takes recently? Our friend of the show, Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan has been sticking it to Trump, sticking it to MAGA, does not give a fuck. And I love to see it. Here's a clip from his show with Ro Connell.
Isn't left or right? The guy's on the left who's I don't even fucking see left or right anymore. I just see good and evil, and that is it. I don't see any of this other shit. And Jeremy told me a long time ago, politics is WWF wrestling. I truly believe that. I fucking see it. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Everybody's... You're saying the American people can't let this go. They can't... We have to hold them... How do we hold them accountable? I mean, you're doing your part, I'm doing my part, but we're up against a huge system that's coming unglued. I mean... The country's in fucking shambles. It just continues to go. I mean, people talk about revolution, civil war, all this shit. It's already happening. We're pretty damn close, and we might be in the middle of it already. I mean, it's.
But we got to turn it around.
We do got to turn it around. There's one more clip. I actually didn't pull it up, but I could just probably. I think Sean posted this yesterday. Yeah, I think it's right here.
I've been pretty.
Here we go. Let's watch this one together. This, again, scorched earth, baby. Love to see it.
Quiet about Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day talking about how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a fuck. Because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with. But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down. Well, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp. Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp? It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a fucking silver platter.
Uh-oh.
But you're not going to take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000. Are you fucking out of your mind? I guess the whole drain the swamp campaign promise was another fucking bullshit lie, huh? Man, the lies are stacking up fast. I've never seen so many fucking lies appear in, what, a year? It's only been a fucking year. Look at all the fucking lies. You know, I wanted to talk to you about something else, too. Then you got Pam Bondi and what's that other guy's name? Todd Blanche. Yeah, running around giving Ro Khanna and Massey all this shit because they accidentally put two names that are apparently innocent, out that were in the Epstein files. Well, I got fucking news for you. You know, you have two guys that are in Congress that are actually doing shit, and you give them shit because they made a mistake when they're trying to do the fucking job of the entire Department of Justice, because nobody over there will do their fucking job when it comes to putting pedophiles away in prison. So you give them shit because two people are trying to do the job of the entire Department of Justice.
Wow. And I've said this before, and I've told Sean this. I'm so proud of Sean for what he's doing. Not that I'm not proud of everybody else, but it's just different, guys. When you have a platform as big as Sean Ryan's platform is fucking massive. And your audience predominantly is not completely, but predominantly is the MAGA conservative, or MAGA and conservatives, would split those up. You take a huge risk as a creator in trashing Donald Trump and MAGA. And he's doing it anyway because he doesn't give a fuck. That's what we like to see. That's actual integrity, right? It's easy for me to do this at this point in time because I've been shitting on Trump for over a year. I've been shitting on MAGA for way longer than that. I've been an anti-MAGA, anti-Trump conservative for a long time, longer than almost anybody else. Not like in general, but on the social media space. But for Sean now to do that, to take a stand and go, I don't give a fuck about my audience or them simping for Trump or MAGA. I'm going to call this bullshit out. That is what we need. We need that from all of the big conservative creators. Because Sean could very easily sit the fence, not say shit about it, keep running his channel, massive views the way it is, not take any risks. Okay? Understand, that's what a lot of these big creators do. But for him to do that, we need to support that. We got to support it, right? Left, right, and different, whether you like Sean, you don't like Sean, he's doing the right thing. Yeah, and like JD just said, this is like you would think. And for someone like Sean or me or JD, this is the easy red line in the sand, the pedos. But as we're going to see in the next section, it's not that way. Now, someone, just a rare person that we didn't realize, there's a lot of people being exonerated over the years. Michael Jackson, big exoneration for Michael Jackson going on right now. There's someone else who we may have judged unfairly at the time. Who is that? The Unabomber. Yes, Ted Kaczynski, it turns out. Insane story about the Unabomber. 1993, Ted Kaczynski mailed a bomb to Yale professor David Galentier, severely injuring him. 2026, it's revealed that Galentier had been in contact with Epstein for nearly 6 years, discussing women, and including undergraduates. Yes. Ted Kaczynski was actually trying to blow up child molesters. 2026 is wild, isn't it, guys? Isn't it wild that the guy he was trying to kill was a child molester and one of Epstein's associates? I mean, is this not the craziest timeline ever that we're living in right now? Ted Kaczynski was probably actually a hero. What the fuck is going on, guys? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, somebody said they MK'd him. But again, 1993, this guy was blowing up Epstein's associates. I mean, you think this is a coincidence? Do you think that's a random coincidence? I doubt it. I highly doubt that's a random coincidence. There's also this going around. I heard about this back when it first sort of started, but there's a lot of talks about this that I don't know if it's true or not. Avicii, Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, and Anthony Bourdain, all four were working on a document called The Silent Children. The film set out to expose the child sex trafficking industry within Hollywood. All four were found dead. All four were ruled suicides. I remember when Chester took his own life and his wife came out and said, there is no way that he committed suicide. Anthony Bourdain is another one that never made sense. Avicii, another one that never made sense. And so I'm still trying to dig into that one. But again, this isn't like actually that new. Like when Chester passed away, people were talking about that exact story, including his wife was saying this exact story years and years and years ago when it happened. Now, those are the good takes. Those are the good takes. Now, Let's get into the MAGA takes, huh? The MAGA takes? This is what we're all here for, right? I'm sure they're going to be standing up for the victims and protecting children, right? MAGA is going to be definitely leading the forefront. Okay. Let's go through these. Let's start with God, she's the absolute worst. Carolyn Levitt. Let's see what she has to say about what's going on with the Epstein files.
And that remains true. And this call, if it did happen, corroborates exactly what President Trump has said from the beginning. And I'm sure many of you, when you read that alleged FBI report, probably thought to yourself, wow, this really cracks our narrative that we've been trying to push about this president for many years. So we're moving on from that. Reagan.
MAGA's moving on from the Epstein files because Trump's exonerated. We're just moving on, guys. We're moving on. Nothing to see here. You can't make it up. Okay, this is a tough one. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Alex Jones. I like Alex. Been on Alex's show multiple times. Super nice. I really like Alex. I've been a fan of Alex for years. Alex has been right about everything. Alex has been proven right about everything. And this is what he's doing with his time. I showed you guys in the previous video, obviously he came out and made that bizarre statement about how Pam Bondi released everything. And then he doubled down on it on Myron's podcast. This is well after it was proved this was all lies. All right, here we go.
Said, you're all fired. This is people in the meeting. Wow. He said, you're all fired.
Oh, wait, okay. Let me restart it. I want to make sure we get it from the beginning. This is supposedly Trump saying this to everybody in his inner circle.
And you're all fired. This is people in the meeting. Wow. He said, you're all fired. He said, I want, by the way, behind the scenes, Trump used to cuss somebody else. You see when he's hoarse, he goes, I'm sorry, I'm screaming people. He said, listen, motherfuckers, I'm sick of being tied to this shit. I'm the one that dropped a dime on him 18 years ago. He goes, you're all fucking fired if it isn't fucking released. Do you fucking understand me? They released the whole list of anybody in his files. Oh. They released 3 million more files. And Trump said, I will fire every goddamn one of you. Because they came to him and said, sir, they say your wife's a hooker. All this stuff that was all recycled from 9-10 years ago, which I said it was, and it came out. They said his wife's a hooker. We're Epstein. That wasn't true. He had a modeling agency that she was at. She wasn't at that. So they were fucking with him and telling him, you don't want to do this. They tricked him, and now Trump went thermonuclear. He finally listened to us. He finally listened to Roger Stone and others, and this is historic. And I'm told Congressman Tim Burchett and others have said, they have already been access to this, okay? And they said, if you think the Satanism and the cannibalism and the blood drinking is bad and what you saw before, they said what is in these new files is going to shake everybody. And they warned you, don't even look at it if you don't want to have nightmares.
So, none of that was true. Nothing he just said was true. Like, this, objectively. Like I showed you guys, they didn't release any new files. None of the older files had any redactions removed. None. Zero. The only thing that was put out was the random list of names. And yet Alex Jones, even after it was proven that no files were released, that no redactions were removed, is still going on podcasts talking about that as if it happened. And the story he's telling is that it was Donald Trump who freaked out on his entire administration, and it's Trump wants the files released, but his cabinet isn't doing it. He's in charge of Pam Bondi. He's in charge of Kash Patel. They are doing anything he tells them to do. What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about, Alex? And again, this is why it's so bizarre to me. It's like, dude, Alex was the one exposing this insane satanic PDF cult that's eating children. He was talking about this in 2000, in 1998. And he was proven right. about everything. And now that he's proven right, he's saying this shit. Does it make any sense to you guys? What? Yeah, this is a great. Somebody said, Alex, you were the chosen one. Like the Star Wars meme with Anakin. That's what it feels like. It's like, dude, what the fuck happened? What are you talking about? Like, that's blatant lies. And it's a lie that somebody can fact check in 8 seconds just by looking up the files. Again, terrible takes, man. Terrible MAGA takes. I'm not sure what's happening there. Again, I like Alex a lot. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing. Maybe you guys do. All right, let's keep moving with the absolutely terrible fucking takes. Here's another one. Elon Musk, who, of course, we know begged to go to the island. What night's your craziest party? You guys remember that? Yeah, dozens of emails between him and Epstein. Elon's now saying that the victims won't testify because they helped Epstein with trafficking. So he said that many of Jeffrey Epstein's underage victims were later coerced in becoming traffickers once they turned 18, and that's why they're not coming forward. Elon Musk is now blaming the victims. There's a lot of victim blaming you're going to see in these. So yes, here's the thing, man. Let me just explain this to Elon Musk because he's obviously a chomo and he doesn't understand how the real world works. If a 13-year-old child who was trafficked by Epstein then helps him traffic other girls, she is not the perpetrator. She is still a victim. She is still a victim of trafficking. I just don't, like, how could you possibly make this your take? That, again, let's put it back up here. The victims won't testify because they helped him with trafficking. They were being fucking trafficked. Young girls who are being trafficked are not also co-conspirators. They're fucking victims of sex trafficking. They're doing what they need to do to try to fucking survive the situation, dude. But again, another billionaire pedo who was begging to go to the island with a terrible fucking take. The next two are really disappointing, and I'm not pulling punches, guys. These are a lot of people that I like personally. People I know personally, I've done content with personally that I, again, think are really good people that I don't understand. And here's another one. This is a really one. I'm really disappointed in this one. And that is Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who's been on my show before. Here's what she just posted. Trump didn't play their game. He helped expose it. And when they couldn't blackmail him, they tried to smear him. Trump reportedly called police about Epstein in 2006. Okay. All right, we'll talk about this. Let's look at the next one. But then Anna says, pedophiles deserve the death penalty. Nope, not plea deals. And the funniest comment ever back to her is, she's at the FBI. She's threatening the president of the United States. This is a felony, which is probably the best fucking response ever. But what, Anna, I love you, but what is this? What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't call for pedos to be hung and then try to defend the pedo in chief. I don't. And she usually has great takes on everything else, man. I just don't get what is going on with these people. And again, I like Anna a lot, man. Anna has been awesome. Anna helped us a lot on this show with the John Chapman case, and she helped us a lot on the backside with that. She's a very, very good person. I know she's a good person. She went out of her way to really help us with some stolen valor stuff. And then you're just like, what the fuck is this, dude? You know, I mean, all right, here we go. Here's one that's less surprising. This is more of one that's just absolutely expected. And that is, of course, the Daily Wire and this fucking turd, Matt Walsh. Let's see what his take on this is.
And I support the release of the Epstein files. I called for the release many times. It blows my mind that everyone is just pretending that Biden was not in office for 4 years while these files existed. And we didn't hear a word from any of these women. There were 4 Super Bowls during that time. Why did you put an ad out then? Why did you decide the moment the Democrats left the White House that now is the time when you want justice? Why?
Let me explain it, Matt, because you're a fucking idiot and a fucking retard who's trying to blame victims. Here, Matt, here's why the victims didn't fucking come forward with a Super Bowl commercial in 2019, because there was an active fucking investigation into Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell then. And they literally were not allowed to fucking come forward, you fucking idiot. Could you imagine? Joe Biden. Well, what about Joe Biden? Joe Biden is a corpse on a beach somewhere. We are talking about the person who is in charge, who has done everything in his fucking power to block the release of the Epstein files. That's Donald Trump. Could you imagine? Matt, think about Matt Walsh's takes. Who has Matt Walsh attacked in the last 2 weeks? Disabled veterans, the victims of rape and sex trafficking, Israel, Epstein, Trump. That's where this guy fucking puts his hat on. He's attacking the victims for not coming out in 2019? Really? That's this fucking guy's take? Why aren't the victims of rape coming forward 5 years ago? I told you there was going to be a bunch of people attacking the victims. Matt Walsh, I swear to God, guys, I don't know if there's a single, and you can clip this and put it on the internet and make sure he sees it. I don't know if there's a single bigger fucking pussy, coward, fake fucking masculine, fake tough guy, skinny little pencil neck fucking dork on the internet than Matt Walsh. I will pay, how about this? I will pay, how much money do I want to pay? I will pay $50,000 to the charity of Matt Walsh's choice if he will get in a cage with me for 3 rounds. For charity. I'll put up 50 grand. Doesn't matter. He could lose. He can get knocked out in the first 10 seconds. How about that? Fuck you, dude. You are the fucking biggest goddamn fucking pussy on the internet. Attacking the victims, attacking disabled veterans. Fuck you, Matt Walsh. Yeah, dude. Like, who has worse takes than this guy? Guys, chat. Who has worse takes than Matt Walsh? Ben Shapiro does, and I guys, I know you're gonna like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro doesn't have worse takes than Matt Walsh. We know who Ben Shapiro is. He is the Hasbro fucking mouthpiece for Israel. So everything that comes out of his mouth, you know. You already know. But Matt Walsh fucking hides behind conservative. I'm masculine. I got a beard, as Nick Fuentes would say. Timu Shapiro. Fuck Matt Walsh, dude. Attacking victims of rape and attacking disabled veterans. Fuck you, dude. Again, we usually don't get a little over the top with people, but God. He is just, yeah. He's not even a man. I don't know what he is. Anyway, let's keep moving. Terrible takes from everybody. Let's find out what, Kevin O'Leary. What did old Shark Tank Kevin O'Leary have to say about the files? I'm sure it's going to be riveting. Here we go.
Average person at the kitchen table is not worrying about Epstein. Don't give a damn. They want to provide for their family, and they are. America's working.
So that's
this is the American.
Hold on. Let me.
The average person at the kitchen table is not worrying about Epstein.
That's not true. No. The average person is very, very concerned about Epstein and this massive child sex trafficking network that our government was running. Yeah, it's almost like it's just like reminiscent of the Dow was over 50,000, right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Epstein. They just care about, putting dinner on the table. Yeah. I doubt it, but. All right. Some more attacking victims. Why not, right? This is what MAGA has pivoted to because now they know Trump is so implicated in the files. Now they're just attacking and trying to discredit victims. So here we go. Some more MAGA influencers attacking victims of rape. Patrick Bet-David show. The whole fucking cast here attacking the victims of rape.
Epstein commercial in the Super Bowl? Yes, this is what the left wants. It's basically
Rob,
targeting.
I haven't seen this, so go ahead.
It better not be to the tune of Rock Your Body.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth. Because we all deserve the truth.
Damn.
So they're upset and calling it that's what the left wants. What the fuck is going on? How is that your initial reaction? You're mad? You're mad that the Epstein victims put out a commercial in the Super Bowl to try to get justice for themselves? That's what you're mad about? That's what you're pissed off about. The victims of rape. You're mad that they're coming forward. I just don't understand. A lot of these people I used to be fans of. I used to like Patrick Bet-David show. I used to watch the Daily Wire. This is a long time ago. A lot of these creators I used to like. And I just don't understand these grown men. These are grown fucking men who are doing everything in their power to try to defend some fucking politician while they attack the victims of rape and sex trafficking. All of them. Guys, we're not done. We're not done. I'm going to just keep showing you them. They're all MAGA. Here's another one. There we go. It just doesn't stop. This is another person I used to be a fan of as a politician, Jim Jordan. Turns out, nope.
Why did Jack Smith have to pay some secret source $20,000 in taxpayer money? Do you know the answer to that?
I can't discuss anything on that matter, but that's a good question, Chairman Jordan.
Well, that's a good question because he subpoenaed just about every.
You see Representative Jim Jordan defending the Epstein files and defending the abusers found in the. All you have to do is remember the fact that he was caught defending a pedophile and sexual abuser at OSU. So if you didn't know, before he became a politician, Jim Jordan was a famous wrestler. He was well known in Ohio. He competed in various championships and won titles.
Didn't I tell you Ohio? You're going to hear Ohio a lot. Talk about Ohio right after this.
And he eventually ended up working as a wrestling coach at Ohio State University. But Jim had this problem. There was a doctor there named Richard Strauss who would end up abusing over 177 student male patients over a 20-year period, including at least 48 young boys and men who found themselves on the wrestling team, the same wrestling team that Jim Jordan was the coach for. Now, a lot of these former wrestlers have gone on the record over the years and stated that they told Jim Jordan that they were being molested by the doctor. They knew he was a sick man. And they've all claimed that Jim Jordan basically told them to keep quiet, to stay silent. He didn't want to lose his position. He didn't want this scandal. He just wanted this to stay. And that's what happened for years. Now, eventually, it did come out that this doctor had been sexually abusing these kids, and the doctor would eventually end his own life in 2005 before real justice could be served. But according to victims, at one point when they told Jim Jordan that they were being abused, his response to the student was, quote, "If he ever did that to me, I'd snap his neck like a stick of dry balsa wood." There are also other students who claim that Jim Jordan called them after the story broke and basically told them, "You need to stop telling this story. You need to not tell anybody that I knew that this was happening." And there were multiple wrestlers that reported that Jim Jordan called them and
I'm not going to say threatened, but basically told them not to bring his name up.
Huh. Look at that. Just another member of MAGA implicated in pedophilia. Whoa, let's talk about Ohio for a second. Isn't it just so bizarre that so much stuff regarding Epstein and his associates, Les Wexner was based out of Ohio. Who else is based out of Ohio? Peter Thiel, who did what? Funded J.D. Vance's Senate race in Ohio, right? And it's just insane. That's where they're trying to build their new data centers. That's where they're trying to build a bunch of new stuff. And it's like this Epstein's inner circle all seem to be from Ohio and working in Ohio. Sandusky, Ohio. Wes Wetzner, Ohio. J.D. Vance, Ohio. Peter Thiel, Ohio. All of these people. Oh, and who's running for governor of Ohio right now? There you go. Jasmine nailed it. Vivek Ramaswamy, who J.D. Vance named his kid after, also in Ohio. Look at this. Isn't this odd? How many of these people in the pedo circle, billionaire pedo circle, are all based out of Ohio? In the same place? It's very odd. All right, let's keep moving because there's more. Now, I don't use Twitter, but I do know that this is a big Twitter account. Cat Turd, what was his take following the Pam Bondi absolute goddamn disaster? Cat Turd says, AG Pam Bondi easily just destroyed Masshole, Thomas Massey. And then, hilarious, JP's, who I love JP. JP Sears goes, read the room, bro. Read the fucking room, bro. You fucking idiot. Could you imagine, guys? Could you imagine watching Pam Bondi? And I've seen this comment, and I know you guys have on other posts. Could you imagine watching that Pam Bondi performance and then making that comment afterwards? Could you imagine? Could you fucking who could possibly MAGA? Who could possibly have watched that and been like absolutely crushing? But here's more Trump admin with some great takes. If you haven't seen this guy, he is, this is real, by the way. He's the communications director for Donald Trump. And he tweets, yeah, looking good, bro. He tweets, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey are some of the dumbest retards ever to be in Congress. They knowingly and willingly ruined the lives of innocent. Let's again, terrible takes. We're talking about the two people that are exposing a bunch of satanic billionaire elite pedophiles. They knowingly and willingly ruined the lives of innocent people who had nothing to do with Epstein. Donald Trump's administration, everybody. Donald Trump's administration, everybody. Just banging it out, man. These guys really, again, I don't know like how these people look in the mirror as a grown man. Just as a grown man, just any of us, any grown man in the chat. How do you look at this situation and your reaction is, I need to get on Twitter and to defend pedophiles? It's such a bizarre timeline, guys. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense at all. All right, let's hit a couple super chats. Then we're going to get into some Republican versus Democrat takes that have been going on this week. Okay, it's just everything's so weird. Everything's so weird. Anyway, a couple super chats. Excuse me, before we fall too far behind. I think we were. Oh, stop. Get some help. The MJ meme. Bays, new member. Hell yeah, brother. Bays in the chat lurking. Alex Corleone says, all the files and email are starting to look like a psyop to me, brother. I don't believe anything else. Is this comment suggesting the 6 million Jeffrey Epstein documents are a conspiracy and a psyop cover, like a psyop? Like they're fake? Am I reading that wrong? Is this Sean Hannity's burner account? Jesse Waters? Is this Jesse Waters? Are you trolling me, Jesse? This is Jesse Waters, isn't it? This is a fake Jesse Waters account. Yeah. There's no way. This has got to be Jesse Waters or maybe Laura Ingraham, maybe Sean Hannity. There's no way. There's no way that's a real comment. I refuse to believe anybody actually believes that. That's not working actively for Fox News. Okay, Bobby says, even if help there, MJ, the optics ain't good. Yeah, Bobby, I agree with you on that. I don't think there was anything, nefarious behind it, but it's just a bad week. It's a bad week to be, patting boys on the butt for sure. Kenny says a lot of robo-gays in the chat. God bless America. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Also, congrats on your new baby here, your toddler. Thank you. Wood chipper for the trolls, Grand Bear. I haven't seen you in a while. God, Grand Bear's been around forever. Grand Bear, I don't know if you're still here. How long have you been here? Probably since I was around like 10,000 subscribers, I bet, if not less. Love to see you, man. Ray says, yeah, I'm only watching the stream because of my notifications. Yeah, we can tell now. Like we've got our, it's not as high as we normally are, but we're up over 6,000 people now. So it makes sense that YouTube's probably starting to work again. YouTube crashed. Nate getting ready to preemptively ban everybody, trigger happy. Look, what were the odds, guys? What were the odds that YouTube went down somehow while I'm live streaming? But my channel's still working, but nobody else can get on YouTube? Doesn't make any sense. So yes, my bad. Again, if you got banned, just email me and I'll unban you. It's not that big of a deal. All right, just plain fed up says YouTube said there was a problem, but I clicked on my subscriptions and I was able to see your channel. Okay, so that's not bad. If we had 3,000 people in here that were just able to like look through austere subscription notifications and get in here earlier, that's pretty cool. Okay, a couple more and we're jumping back in. Grand Bear says, but Nate, Howie had to take his kids to school. Yeah. Kay says, I got a text about how I feel about our greatest ally when I was watching Barron. Everything crashed 10 minutes after ignoring it and switching to your channel. Would not be shocked on that. For the sake of national security, the e-files must be released. They cannot stay hidden. I agree with that. But the Department of Justice is saying, for the sake of national security, we can't release them. Yeah, who's national security? Bobby says, I can't say the date. I was 35 years old. For 25 years, I had to swallow lies and deception. I hope our ballot box can fix this, but each and every year, I become more skeptical. How do we fix this? I don't know, Bobby. I don't know how we fix it. I think we're actually on the path towards potentially fixing it, because the first thing that's required to fixing this problem is people understanding that it exists. And now everyone actually knows that it actually exists. It's no more tinfoil. It's no more conspiracy. Everyone knows this shit's real. And so we may actually find it. Now, interestingly enough, there's a lot of emails, bizarre emails, about what happened in 2001. There's also about 40,000 missing documents. And they're like a missing chunk out of the serialized documents that just the DOJ didn't upload, like the serial numbers. So a lot of people are thinking, based off of what came right before the start of those missing serial numbers, which was a lot of September 11 things, that potentially there's a huge portion of the files that are actually talking about that event as a huge, what it is, a false flag. So we'll probably never see that. But there's a lot of people talking about that. We need to join the International Criminal Court after the midterms. Yeah. Do you think YouTube is shut down because of all the indie reporting on Trumpstein files? Are we living in America stand now? Well, I don't know, because they would have yanked this episode down. You would have thought. I don't know. I've literally never, ever, ever, ever seen this happen to YouTube. Not just in my creator days, but as a user of YouTube, I've never seen the entire platform go down from the main page, which is very creepy. Very odd. Okay, let's jump back into it. We still got a lot to get through. Okay. Talk about Republicans, and then we'll talk about Democrats. Now, we got through most of the Epstein stuff. There's still some Epstein stuff tied in, but this is more weekly politics now. Okay. First thing we're going to look at, Donald Trump came out and said, we are going to win in a landslide in the midterms. Okay.
Can you beat history on these midterm elections? Carry the House and the Senate for the GOP. Can you do it on the economy? Do you need more communication? Do you need more marketing? Do you need more help? I mean, the numbers are on your side. The question is, does the public know this?
Well, you know, we have a fake news that doesn't get the word out. That's why I love doing an interview. We get the word out. But so you ask a question. In 50 years, a president that won, even a popular president, somebody that's done well. I'm popular and I've done well. I mean, I think we have the greatest economy actually ever in history.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm just getting to the point. Getting to the fucking point listening to this guy. We have this is the greatest American economy in history of the country. No, it's not. Just I don't like, who is feeding this guy information? Like, does he actually believe that? Does he? I mean, I think he does, but it's just like, you know what I really think is happening? I really do believe what's happening here is that he's obviously got dementia, and I don't think his staff shows him or tells him anything that's actually really happening. I think they walk in there and they tell him, Mr. President, everything's going great. You have the highest poll numbers in American history and presidential history. The economy's the best it's ever been. The labor market's the best it's ever been. Inflation is the lowest it's ever been. I think they walk in and they tell him that because, again, he's got dementia and they know, like, they're going to keep their jobs and they're just going to keep on working. And he's living in this weird, bizarre bubble, right, where he has no actual concept of what's happening in the world or the country around him. Because no economist, nobody in finance, no average person would ever agree this is the greatest economy in American history. This isn't even as good as the economy in 2017, your first term, at all. It's not even close. And then you go back to like the 50s, post-World War II boom, when a person working at a factory for 40 hours a week on a single income could buy a fucking home and raise a family at 21 years old. You think you've got a better economy than that? The average age of a first-time home buyer is 40 years old. The average age of a home buyer in general right now is 60 years old. That is not demonstrative of the best economy ever. Just because the stock market is high because of 5 years of fucking insane inflation and money printing, that's what's artificially ramped the stock market up, doesn't mean the economy's good. The economy is the day-to-day life that we all live. Buying groceries, buying gas, buying a TV, buying a new car, buying a used car. These are what is the economy. The stock market, in a propped up AI tech bubble, is not the economy. The economy sucks ass for the regular person. It's not good. We all know that. We all have to go buy fucking groceries. Right? You can't trick the American people. But again, we got to see what he thinks, right? I mean, this is the president of the United States of America, who again is in charge of the most powerful country in the world.
And they're building AI. We know about that. We're leading China. We're leading everybody and everything. This is the greatest period of anything that we've ever seen. Plus, we have a powerful military, a great military, strong, that I rebuilt in my first term. Because I had a great first term. You remember very well. You were there, but we are doing it.
There you go. It's the greatest period of anything ever. You guys hear that? This is the greatest period of anything ever that's ever existed. Okay. Well, and here's the thing. It's so great. It's so great that this just came out today or yesterday. This is how good things are. That Gallup has announced it will no longer track presidential approval rating for the first time in 80 years. His approval rating is so low. It's so low that Gallup is not even going to do it anymore. His approval rating is so low that Gallup has announced they're not even going to do the fucking polls anymore. They just said, fuck it, dude. Gallup said, fuck it. We're not even doing presidential polls. This guy's fucking so. According to Gallup, his approval rating was getting close to 28%. 28%. That is obnoxiously bad. So bad. And it's not just Gallup. You guys know they've shut off all the reports. They're shutting off employment reports. They're shutting off inflation reports. They're shutting off all the economy and finance metric reports. They're just turning them off. They're saying, fuck it. We're done. We're just not going to tell you what's going on. That's how you know, guys. That's how you know things are going good. Right? When things are going really good, you shut off all the polling. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But don't worry. Sorry, guys. The whole fucking, this whole administration's such a clown show. Don't worry, he's got another fake award. Yep, he got an award for being the undisputed champion of clean coal.
To show our appreciation, the trophy says the undisputed champion of beautiful clean coal. Thank you, sir.
They figured it out. That's all it takes. Guys, they figured it out. You just give this fucking dementia-ridden fucking idiot a trophy. How many trophies has he got? Random made-up trophies. Right? He got the FIFA, remember the FIFA World Peace Prize that they made up out of the blue? Remember that trophy? He got the Israel Prize, right? Israel gave him the Peace Prize. What else did he get? What was the other one? The Nobel Peace Prize that Maria Machado gave him he's not even allowed to have because it's not transferable. So he's got Maria Machado's trophy just sitting in his office now. But now he's got another fake made up award. Oh, he's got the clean coal trophy. This is all it takes. You just give the dude a trophy. It doesn't matter what it is. You fucking make it up. And that way you can get policy passed for you. Right? That's all it takes. You just give the fucking guy a trophy. That's like his fourth or fifth participation trophy in like 2 months. They're all just fake made up trophies that they just keep giving this guy. You can't make it up. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this post from Ian Smith. Which Ian Smith, man, he's got great takes on Twitter. So let's look at this. What you were promised versus what you got. Okay. So what you were promised. Doge checks. Joe, you remember the Doge refund checks? What you got? Memes, engagement, 0 deposits. Yeah, you're not getting that check. Promised full transparency. Epstein files, JFK, MLK. What'd you get? Redactions, delays. You didn't get anything out of that. Promise, drain the swamp. What you got? The swamp with better branding. You got you got the swamp. You got the ultimate swamp. Promised sub 10% APR credit cards. Remember when Donald Trump said he was going to cap credit cards interest at 10%? Every time we've covered this on the show, we've also laughed together and said, obviously this will never fucking happen. These are all the things that never happened after he promised them. Yep. Still looking at 30% APR credit cards. Promise no new wars. Well, He broke the record for bombing the most countries for any president in U.S. history in 1 year. So there's that. Promised America first. Well, we all know that's the fucking most broken promise there is. Is America first? You got Israel first. Promised abolish 3-letter agencies. What'd you get? Kash Patel in charge of the FBI and the ATF, the IRS still doing everything they're doing. Nothing changed at all, except we're now anti-Second Amendment. So there's that. Promised in the Department of Education. What you got? Nah, they didn't end that. More bureaucracy. Promised tariffs that would pay you back. What you got? Higher prices. Remember that? Promise secure border. You got ICE and shooting American civilians in the street. Promise gas under $2. Global markets are complex. Promise prescriptions massively cheaper. They're not. They've just turned off healthcare for like 20 million Americans. Whoops. Promise groceries coming down fast. Nope, they didn't. They went up. Inflation's still around 3%. Promise big tech. Break up big tech. Do you remember who was at Donald Trump's inauguration sitting behind him? Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, that didn't happen. Fight corporate capture. No, the lobbyists are in control of everything. And again, it goes on forever and ever and ever, right? Like everything you were promised, you didn't get any of it. What can anybody in the chat, and that whether you're a Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. What out of Donald Trump's campaign promises has actually come to fruition through policy, through actual policy? Anybody, can anybody name anything? Campaign promises actually actioned into policy. Can anybody name a single thing? Just one. Name one. Border? Yeah, I would say the border. The border's the closest you're going to get. Yeah, not a lot. The Dow's up. There you go. The Dow. The Dow. Yeah, the border. They didn't build the wall. There's no wall built. Remember that $5 billion wall that we were supposed to build in 2016? It's 2026. There's no wall. And what's the problem with that? Here's what I'll say. Even with the border, guys, the border, they've done a good job with the border. But why does it not matter what he's done at the actual border itself? Do you guys know why nothing matters? I can explain it to you. I want to see if the chat knows. Why does nothing Donald Trump's done with the border matter? Looking forward into the future. I'm going to see if somebody can get it. Why does the border not even matter? Somebody in here, come on. Somebody's got to understand this. Here we go. There was one. Somebody got it. There it is. Jody got it. The reason why nothing at the border matters is because it's all been signed by executive order. None of it has gone through actual congressional policy. And so what does that mean? As Jody says here, that means the second 2028 rolls around and Gavin Newsom comes into power, all he has to do is wipe away Donald Trump's executive orders at the swipe of the pen at day one, and the border opens right fucking back up. Nothing changes. Because they didn't, Republicans, keep in mind, who had fucking complete control of the government, who have complete control of the government. They have control of the House, the Senate, the executive, the Supreme Court. Why are they not passing immigration reform and actually actioning border policy into law? They're not doing it. Because that way, 3 years from now, when a Democrat takes control and can open the borders right back up, right back where we started. So until you see Congress pass actual immigration reform, nothing changes. We are on a very tiny timeline right now. So even the one thing we can give this guy a little bit of credit for is just going to be overturned in 3 years, 2.5 years. Right? That's not my opinion. That's what's going to happen. That's what happened with Biden in 2020. He overturned Trump's executive actions, opened the border back up, and they flooded 20 million people in. which was terrible also. Right? They're not going to change it. They're not changing anything. Trump's not changing anything. Biden didn't change anything. Anyway. Okay, let's keep moving. All right. Remember this. This is how things started. This was the beginning right after Trump got elected. This is what we were promised. This is what we were promised.
It's a new day. Donald Trump is the most transparent president in our nation's history. We are all acting at his directive, and America will be transparent again as well. I can't comment on whether we have or have not, or do not.
I'm not going to play that because it's got the Rocky music in the back. But as you saw there, obviously Pam Bondi promised us the most transparent administration that has ever existed in world history, and we know what we got. Let's take a look here. You guys remember Donald Trump decided to post that Photoshopped image or video of the Obama's faces on chimpanzees. Donald Trump blamed it on a aide at first, a staffer at first. He's now admitted that it was him. Let's see what he has to say about this.
You fired or disciplined that staffer who posted the video from your account that included the Obamas?
No, I haven't. That was a video on, as you know, voter fraud. And fairly long video, and they had a little piece and had to do with the Lion King. It's been very well, it's been shown all over the place long before that was posted. But that was a very strong, and I'm sure you saw it, a very strong piece on voter fraud. And the piece that you're talking about was all over the place many times, I believe for years.
Right. That video, you can look it up for yourself. I'm not gonna play that video on my channel because it got JD banned for a week, so we're not gonna play it. That video had nothing to do with voter fraud. That was you posting, photoshopping the Obama's faces on monkeys. Didn't have anything to do with voter fraud. It just looked like you're a racist piece of shit, dude. But at least he's admitted, finally admitted that it was him. What else is going on with MAGA? Okay. I just want to, I don't always take victory laps for calling shit ahead of time, but I'm going to on this one. For those of you guys who really follow the channel, when we were talking about Dan Bongino, this was weeks and weeks and weeks ago, before he even left his position as deputy director. Do you guys remember what I said Dan Bongino would end up having to do in the media sphere when he left the FBI? Anybody remember? Anybody who really follows the channel? What did I say Dan Bongino was going to end up doing? Boom, there we go. Right? What did I say? He was going to end up as a fucking random extra on Fox News, right? Isn't that what I said? Yeah, so you guys know. Well, guess motherfucking what? Yes, motherfucking what, everybody? Boom! Just in, Dan Bongino has been hired by Fox News. He starts as a contributor on Hannity. Who's excited to hear Dan Bongino on Fox News? Will you be watching? Oh, did I not call that shit to a motherfucking T where this fucking idiot would fall, where he would end up? Did I not nail that one? Did I not call that to a goddamn T, that he would try to go back to podcasting, it would be a disaster, and he would end up taking a job on Fox News? I said that word for fucking word. And there it is, dude. Again, we don't normally take victory laps on this channel, but we called that shit out, like nailed that one. Nailed that one. Okay, we're going to get into one that's a little bit disappointing now, because this is somebody I actually really like, but I don't like performative bullshit in politics. Okay? I do like this candidate, but they are. And I did fact check these. Yes, the Groyper running for Florida governor is also a pedophile. Okay, we'll talk about that. But it says here, James Fishback, who is running to be Republican candidate governor, was previously accused of sexual misconduct with a minor. Well, I wanted to know when I saw this clip, okay, is this just people attacking him? So we looked it up ourselves, and here is the answer to that. Yes, James Fishback has been publicly accused in court filings and media reporting of having an inappropriate sexual relationship with a 17-year-old, but he denies wrongdoing and that he has not been charged or convicted of a crime. The situation is an allegation, not an established legal finding. Now I want to come down here. Fishback has denied any appropriate contact before she reached the age of consent. Okay, this is where he obviously had a relationship with this girl. He claims not before she was 18. And reports are false. A judge rejected a later restraining order against him for lack of evidence. There are no criminal charges, arrests, or convictions reported related to misconduct of a minor. So, where is it? Where does it talk about? Oh, here we go. The report says she claimed a sexual relationship started at age 17 when Fishback was 27, and that he asked her to keep it a secret. Now, here's what this looks like to me. This looks like, to me, a 27-year-old man who was, at a minimum, engaged in a relationship with a barely turned 18 female. That's still, to me, like, ugh. You're almost 30 years old, and you're dating, even if you're dating 18-year-olds, like just turned 18 3 days ago. Well, that's legal. That's just fucking gross, dude. To me, it's still gross. If she's underage, if she's 17 and he's sleeping with her, that's a high school girl. That's like a junior in high school. Potentially, maybe a senior. So that ain't good, Mr. Fishback. So we did like you. Now we've got the performative theater art, AR-15 shit. You've got the backstory about being involved with a 17-year-old girl when you were 27. It's not great. There's also some weird shit going on. If you didn't see this, he got banned on Twitter by Elon Musk, which also makes me like him more. That's one of those dichotomies. Like, I'm not going to support the dude anymore now that I know he's most likely a chomo, but the fact he was banned off Twitter by Elon for criticizing our greatest ally, you know, there's that. But yeah, I don't know. Let's think. What do we think now that we know these things about Fishback? Because we've talked about him a lot on the show. What do we think? Do we still like Fishback? Let's do a poll. After what you know now, what do you guys think about this guy? It's not good. It doesn't look good. It's not looking good. Keep in mind, his opponent is Byron Donalds, one of the biggest simps for fucking Israel that exists. Honestly, probably even worse. But it's just, I don't know, man. He seems fake. At this point, to me, it was questionable at first when I saw it, when I would see him talking about Nick Fuentes clips. I was a little bit like, is this guy for real? Is he not for real? The AR-15 clip, he may have thought that was going to win him over on people. To me, that just made him, he's fake. I think he's fake, guys. I think he's trying to use the America First platform. I don't know. Doesn't seem like he actually probably believes in it. Maybe he does. But we can't, somebody said we can't keep voting for fake people. We can't. I agree with this. Anyway, we'll see what the poll says. It's just, for me, guys, the AR-15 clips, the fact we know that he was 27 trying to fuck 17-year-olds. For me, I'm out, dude. I'm out. Now, again, that could be allegations. It could not be true. But from the sounds of it, his claims are that she was 18. Her claims are that she was 17. To me, it's gross no matter what. For a almost 30-year-old man to be engaged in that. I don't know. Maybe Maybe I just don't understand. Okay. I got married early in life, in my first marriage. I got married early in my first marriage or in life. I think at 22 or 23. That marriage didn't end up working out, but then I met my current wife very, very quickly after that marriage ended. And so I've been dating women my own age. My wife is 2 years younger than me, 1.5 years younger than me, my entire life. So I don't understand personally the old man with 18-year-old girl thing. It's not, it's just not something I personally understand. So maybe I'm not being fair to him on this. I don't know, guys. You can let me know. But to me, it's just fucking weird. It's all weird and gross. Okay, here's another one. Just the psychoticness of MAGA. You guys may have seen this. A Texan father shot and killed his own daughter because he could not handle criticism of Trump. And I do like this comment. Which side has Trump derangement syndrome? I don't think it's us. I do think it's Trump supporters. I think it's Trump supporters that have TDS at this point. Yeah, this is a really sad story. But yeah. Really, really sad story, but that's where we're at. Some more. Box office, Melania heads for $8 million opening, the best showing in a decade for a documentary. Oh my God, the amazing new Melania Trump documentary made $8 million at the box office. That's absolutely fantastic. Breaking records. Could you guys imagine how amazing a performance? Nobody would have expected this, right? $8 million made. Do you guys know how much it cost from production and then on top of the marketing budget to make this movie? Anybody? I'll tell you. I know how much it is because I looked it up. You guys know how much it cost? Full production plus marketing? Anybody got a guess in the chat without Googling? Don't cheat. Oh, it's way more than that. This is close. Yeah. About $80 million. $80 million. So they've only made back 10% of what it cost to make that movie, and they're calling it the most successful documentary. It's classic Trump, dude. It's the most successful documentary in history because it made $8 million. Cost $80 million to fucking make. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, JD says, who directed that movie? That's another good one, JD. If you guys didn't know, the director of that movie, I wish I still had the photos. Did you guys know? Turns out he's in the Epstein files. He's got pictures of him. I think we showed it on the channel before. You know, just hanging out with Epstein and a 13-year-old or 12-year-old girl. Yeah. Yeah, the director of the Epstein or of the Melania movie just got exposed in the files for being a pedo. Thanks, JD, for that reminder. Yes, he did. Yes, he fucking did. I think we talked about that on the show last week, but yep. Go figure, right? No way. No way. Another person connected to Trump who's in the Epstein files and is a fucking pedophile. It's almost like it's just, I don't know how many times we have to see this. It just happens over and 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 over again. Let's talk about JD. Not JD Delay, not our friend JD Delay, but the other JD. Let's see what JD Vance. Let's see what Trump has to say about JD. JD's been having a rough week too. He's been not JD Delay. Well, JD is banned on YouTube, so he's been having maybe a little bit of a rough week too. I know I just saw JD in the chat, but we're talking about JD Vance, okay? Talking about the bad JD. Let's see what Trump has to say.
JD is fantastic, and Marco is fantastic.
How are they
both
different?
doing a
How are they
great
different?
job. And I do think this. It's a great question. I think that's your most interesting question. Yeah. I would say one is slightly more
hard-hitting journalism, by the way, on that question.
Diplomatic than the other. I think they're both of very high intelligence. I mean, you know, they will do shows. They will do Joe Rogan as opposed to the opponent not doing it because they couldn't handle it. They will be able to do whatever they have to do.
Okay, right. So, J.D. Vance, as Trump said, very good. They're going to be very difficult to beat. He's so intelligent. So intelligent, huh? He's so intelligent that he didn't even know what he was voting for to break a tie-breaking vote on the Senate fucking floor this week. Let's take a look.
50, the nays are 50, the Senate being equally divided. The vice president votes.
He's having to be told what to fucking vote.
Affirmative, and the point of order is sustained. Gotta make sure.
Had to make sure. I don't even know what I'm doing here. What am I supposed to vote? Am I supposed to vote yes or no? I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm supposed to vote yes. I'm supposed to vote yes. Oh, okay. Okay. Affirmative. Had to make sure. That's the vice president of the United fucking States who just showed up to Congress for a tie-breaking vote on a bill, and he didn't even know what the fuck he was voting for. He had no idea what he was even voting on. He had to get told by his staffers which way he was supposed to vote. He's supposed to be our next president. He's supposed to be the next president of the United States. You're telling me that's how smart he is? But again, he also has been having a bad week because he got the shit booed out of him and he almost cried. A lot of eye makeup on at the Olympics. But yeah, JD Vance went to the Olympics and got booed. And here was his response. Aww. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, he got the shit booed out of him at the Olympics. There's a lot of clips going around the internet of that. Oh, no. Did you get booed at the Olympics, JD? Don't let your eyeliner run with those tears, JD. Oh. Again, guys. All right, final one. And again, for Republicans and MAGA, because, well, this is what it is at this point. So if there's anybody who still identifies MAGA in the chat, this is you. This is who you're a part of. So just consider that.
Then I'll go with it. And if he wants to be a dictator, then so be it.
I'd rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years. Absolutely. This country needs a dictator. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
There you go. There they are. I know we ask a lot on this channel, like, who the fuck are these people at this point in 2026? Oh, there they are. There they be, everybody. There they be. Okay, let's hit a few super chats before we jump into Democrats. There's some hilarious, wild shit with Democrats this week, too. Barack Obama talking about fucking aliens. You got Stephen A. Smith potentially talking about running for president. Zoran Mamdani not having a good time in New York. We'll talk about that next. Let's hit a couple super chats, and then we'll jump into that, all right? Oh, we got that one already. We are not America the Beautiful anymore. Well, you know, there's a lot of beautiful people in America. If that's you, you look beautiful, Cricky, Carol. So you got that going for you. The country itself, we'll get there. We'll get back. You know, I'm not a complete black pillar. I am somebody that believes, hopefully, we can turn this around. It's going to be hard. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but I got to stay positive. Dave says, unfortunately, no wood chipper justice or prison justice in cushy Nordics prisons. They oh, that's true. In Scandinavian prisons, very true. They rehabilitate numbers are otherwise effective, not in Monster's case, or prison justice in Andrew's case. Shame. Yeah, actually, Scandinavian prisons definitely have a very different approach than we do. That's a completely different topic for a different day, though. Cleveland says she got surgery because she knows she'll be free eventually and wants to live unnoticed. Yeah, I doubt that. If she gets pardoned, she's going to want to live as big as possible, I would guess. Just showing some support to the channel. Stay solid, man. Thank you, Stank Jesus. Stank Jesus. Okay. AJ says, I have a question for everyone. Do you really think anyone will convict you when we win? LOL. Oh, dude, I don't know. And nobody's convicting anybody in this administration, but I do think if Democrats win in 2026 and 2028, they don't play around. They'll fucking put people in jail, and they will be vindictive, and they will go after their political enemies. Right, wrong, or indifferent. It's very, very different than what we see now. They will put your ass in prison. They'll go after you. And so the Trump administration should be aware of that. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, you think that you guys are safe right now? Give it 2 years. Oh, we'll see. Bobby says our school in rural Texas has canceled school picks because of ties to the files. Just got notice this morning. Scary times, folks. Yes, that's good to hear. First of all, that they're doing that. But again, like I said before, if you have young kids and when the school photos come around, I highly suggest you take the route that I'm doing with my children, that they will not fucking ever get school pictures taken again from them. They're not going to enter some weird pedophile database. No thanks. Booga says, per Grok, schools in NYC started on 9th. Oh, I love that you posted this, because this was going to be one of the next things I deep dived and looked into was Howard Lutnick's claims that he was taking his child to their first day of school in 2001 in New York. I wanted to find what the public school system, actually the date it started. And I love that you posted this, because this means that he's a fucking liar about that too. But I was going to do the research now. You already showed it to us. So yeah, he fucking just made that up. And yeah, he's not the only one. Good point. Larry Silverstein. Also, another prominent J who just didn't show up that day. Funny how all the prominent J's just didn't show up to work that day, isn't it? Huge coincidence, I'm sure. Wolfman says, hey, Nate, thanks for the live stream. So maybe Trump is having the people hired that know about him in the files. What do you think? Well, I don't know about hiring the people that know about him in the files, but the people he has hired, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, they know he's in the files and they know everything that he's done. So now I think he's just stuck with them. Because you really can't fuck Pam Bondi or Kash Patel over if you're Trump now, or Howard Lutnick, or any of these people, because they know everything about you now. So, yeah. What do you think happens if no prosecutions take place? Well, Aaron, I'd say no prosecutions are going to take place. What happens from that? I don't know. I don't know how much outrage we're eventually going to be able to drum up. It's building. It's building. It's building. It's building. It's building. You can see Trump's approval ratings just fucking doing this every day. As more of the files come out, it's just getting uglier and uglier as he refuses to take accountability, as he refuses to fire people like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, as he refuses to fire people like Howard Lutnick. So, what do I think happens? The Democrats sweep 2026 and Gavin Newsom wins the presidency in 2028. That's what I think is the real repercussions of what's going to happen. Personally. Jerry says, thank you for telling people it's not left or right, but right and wrong. Yeah, 100%. Good and evil. Big Dickie Daniel says the insanity has turned Trump into the Saw movie Joker, and they want another Hostile series. Jesus. All right, one more, and then we're jumping back into it. Is this the same Sultan that gave Trump the new Air Force One that Trump is donating to his library? No, I don't think so. As far as I know. I may be wrong about that, but I don't think so. I think that's two completely different people. Okay. Now, let's jump into Democrats. And start with old Barry. Barack Obama. Back on the podcast scene. Let's see what he's got to... See what old Barry's got to say. All right, here we go.
As the mean, angry,
demagoguery,
exclusive, us, them, divisive politics. That's their home court.
Yeah.
Our court is coming together. Our court is, look, a great example. Wasn't political. Bad Bunny's halftime show.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Well, it resonated. It was smart. because it wasn't preaching. It was showing, it was demonstrating and displaying. This is what a community is. Other side does the mean, angry,
demagoguery,
exclusive.
Okay. So Obama is trying to claim that it's Republicans who do the mean, angry, divisive political content. Really? Really? Barry? That is total fucking bullshit. First of all, it's both sides. Republicans and Democrats are equally as guilty of being divisive, of being petty, of being, there's no difference between the two. They both fucking do this shit. And so that, I'm going to call bullshit on that. Trying to make it seem like we, the Democrats, we're just here for the community and we don't do anything mean. Fuck no, dude. Now, again, I'm not saying Republicans aren't bad about it too. Both sides are horrible about divisive content, are horrible about trying to bring things together. They're both terrible. Republicans and Democrats, neither side bridges the aisle ever. Unless it's for Israel and Ukraine. Then. If it's to give billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to AIPAC, then yeah, we can come to an agreement. But no. No, Mr. Obama, you're not holding the moral high ground here. Okay? It's not a thing. You're just as fucking bad as Republicans. Now, I will say, when we're talking about professionalism and appearance and optics, right? Barack Obama was way better politically. He was a way better political president than what we have now. Doesn't mean he was better. Doesn't mean he wasn't doing horrible shit. Doesn't mean he wasn't the drone striker in chief. Doesn't mean Barack Obama didn't kill more innocent people with drone strikes than any fucking president or all presidents combined. He did. He's got a real rough track record as well. But at least it wasn't like this psychotic, like it felt presidential, right? He could talk well. Now we have the psycho who also is bombing everybody and destroying the economy. So it's almost like you're getting all of the and pro-Israel, right? It's almost like you're getting all of the bad now with like none of the decent. But again, I don't buy that for a second. I think both sides are equally as bad when it comes to being divisive, when it comes to being, having nasty rhetoric. Go watch The View, dude. Turn on The View and listen to those women. If you want to pretend like Democrats are any better than Republicans when it comes to being divisive, they're both horrible. Horrible. Yeah, dude, the computer's crushing today, man. You know what I mean? We've had zero issues. Zero issues for sure. Okay, here's an interesting one. This is going to be someone who I almost guarantee runs for presidency as a Democrat, and it could get interesting. He's a very, very interesting candidate. Anybody guess who I'm going to talk about? Very austere, not a politician. May have a decent chance at it. That runs as a Democrat. Anybody have any ideas who we're going to talk about? Not a politician. Mark Kelly is a senator. Yeah, no, not Mark Kelly. He's a senator. Not a politician. Close. There we go. All right, EJ got it. Let's take a look at this. Stephen A. Smith is, I think, almost for sure going to run for president in 2028.
You run as a Democrat?
Yeah, because I couldn't see myself running as a member of the GOP. I'm a fiscal conservative. I can't stand high taxes, but I'm a social liberal.
That's literally me, by the way. literally my politics to a T, or what he just said. I am a conservative. I am a fiscal and foreign policy conservative and a social liberal. Have been my entire life.
In the same breath, because I believe in living and let live. I pay attention to the desolate and the disenfranchised. Yes, I like strong borders. That's absolutely true. We never needed open borders, but we don't need it to be completely closed either. We're a gorgeous mosaic.
Sounds like you're getting a stump speech ready, Stephen.
No, there's no stump speech, but I can give it.
Could you be competitive in a Democratic primary? Some big names might run. Gavin Newsom, the California governor, among many others.
I respect all of them in terms of their intellect, in terms of where their heart lies, in terms of the service that they want to provide to this country. But ultimately, your actions speak louder than anything. Gavin Newsom is somebody that I think has tremendous potential if he moves towards the center. But ultimately, affordability with taxes in the state of California, the homelessness, the crime, he's going to have to answer those questions, being a prisoner to the environmentalist out there. He's going to have to answer those questions.
Would you run as a Democrat?
Okay. Now, I personally, I like Stephen A. Smith doesn't seem like somebody I would be interested in having to be in control of the country. I just don't like. I've never liked Stephen A. Smith for his content on ESPN or anything like that. I will say I don't mind the things he said there. You know what I mean? He's a moderate. But, you know, saying that he respects Gavin Newsom and thinks Gavin Newsom could do a great job is... Yeah, I don't know. It's probably a no for me. But I do like... Here's the thing. I do like that we at least have sort of non-politicians entering the space, at least entering the discussion. I think that's actually kind of important. But yeah, Stephen A. Smith as a person, I would never vote for. I would never vote for Stephen A. Smith. I think he's a phony in a lot of ways, but I do like his messaging, you know? And that's one of the problems with, you never know what to expect with politicians, right? Or people that want to be politicians is they say things you like. Much like Fishback. Spend a lot of time saying things that I like hearing. And then you start to like get a little bit of a better idea of who they are, and you go, yeah, probably not. So for me, I'm not a Stephen A. Smith guy, but I do like that he is sort of pushing the Democrat Party to the center. I think both the right and the left need to be sort of be moved toward the center a little bit, but I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he's the guy to do it. Let me see what you guys think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys think he's a great choice. And I could be way off. All right, let's do a poll. Because again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off and you guys really like him and you think he'd be a great choice. Again, that's the great thing about having these polls. For me, he's not my guy. I don't think that even as, you know, Republican and Democrat, I don't think he's got any business running, but I don't mind him entering the discussion either. Okay, so Democrats are actually really pissed off at this clip, which I think is interesting. And that is, oh, not this one. This one. Democrats are really, really mad about this. Really mad about what Hillary said, which I think is interesting. It's not anybody else that's pissed off. As you can see here, the problem with the Democratic Party summed up in one clip, and this is from Rogue DNC, which is a obviously staunch Democrat channel. So they do not like what they're hearing. Let's see what she had to say.
More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year of Trump's second term. So I think it's important to look more people.
Okay. So I got to be honest. She's right. Everything she said there is true. More people were deported under her husband and Barack Obama by a metric fuck ton than Donald Trump. That is 100%. We'll watch it again. Let's watch it again. And again, Democrats are furious at her for saying this. Let's watch it one more time.
More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year of Trump's second term.
It's true. That's objectively true. Yeah, that's actually true. Obama did have cages. But the numbers are not, you cannot argue with the numbers. Bill Clinton deported like 10 million people. Trump's deported 230,000. That's what, 50x? Bill Clinton 50x Donald Trump's numbers? But Democrats, you have to ask yourself, why, guys in the chat, why are Democrats so mad about what she just said? Why are Democrats so mad about what she just said? Anybody know? I'll tell you. Democrats are furious about what she just said because they don't like the idea of Democrats deporting millions and millions and millions and millions of people. Well, yes, they are. People say no one's mad. Yes, they are, which is why I'll put it up here again. I know Democrats don't get mad. We do. Here's the thing. We call balls and strikes on both political parties. Don't try to start getting mad in the chat because it's your political party. Okay. You got to look at things objectively. I'll bring it back up here again. Look at this. Rogue DNC. This is a massive, prominent Democrat channel. What does it say? The problem with the Democrat Party summed up in one clip. 26.6 thousand likes. Okay. This is one of the biggest Democrat channels on Instagram. They're mad about this. They are mad because they do not want to hear about Democrats being the ones who deport more illegals than Republicans. But that's the truth. That's the truth historically. Democrat presidents deport far more people than Republican presidents. They do, statistically. And Democrats do not want Hillary Clinton talking about that. I should say progressives, right? Like really far left really doesn't like this idea. But she's not wrong. It's not wrong. The numbers don't lie. Okay. Don't get mad at numbers. Don't get mad at the numbers, but the truth is the truth. Okay. I don't agree with Hillary very often, but she's literally just saying it like it is. Her husband deported 50 times more people than Donald Trump did. That's objectively true. It also doesn't sound good for Democrats. Okay. So again, don't get mad. All right. Look at the Stephen A. Smith poll. Would you vote for Stephen A. Smith? Okay. 86% no, 14% yes. So again, you guys agreed with me on that one. Again, I'm just saying it is what it is. Let's not get upset. She was right. Oh, yeah, of course she is. Fucking of course she is, dude. Don't get me wrong. I fucking hate Hillary Clinton. But she's not wrong on that one. And again, it's actually not here's what's going to be crazy though, is this is where it gets complicated. Here's where we have the breakdown. Okay. Do we think what ICE has been doing and the way they've been doing it with immigration is a good thing? For me personally, no, I don't. However, at the same time, do we need solid immigration policy? Do we need borders? Do we need to make sure our country is actually a country? Yes, of course. There is a delicate balance that needs to happen. Somebody's got to figure out. Oh, well, you know who figured it out? Bill Clinton fucking figured it out because he deported 10.7 million people with zero controversy. So somebody figured it out. But there's got to be a balance here, guys. We got to have a country. We got to have strong borders. We have to have good immigration policy. But at the same time, we don't need to be killing civilians, American civilians in the street. You know what I mean? And so that's what the left and the right, Republicans and Democrats, are going to have to figure out as they jostle in going into 2026 and 2028 when we're talking about messaging, when we're talking about things happening. If you're going to be, oh, you're just immediately banned, dude. If you're going to be a Democrat and you're going to have a staunch open borders, we can't deport anybody, I'm not voting for you. But at the same time, if you're going to be a Republican candidate and go, ICE has complete immunity and they can fucking kill anybody they want and do everything they want, no, I'm not voting for you either. There's got to be some type of balance here. That's what we haven't seen yet. Okay. Now, next one. Old Zoran. He's struggling in New York. Things are not going as well as he was hoping. And he doesn't have enough money. He doesn't have enough money to do what he needs to do. And let's see what he has to say about that.
Those who have watched budget after budget, it is tempting to assume that we are engaging in the same dance as our predecessors. Let me assure you, nothing about this is typical. That's why our solutions won't be either. There are two paths to bridge this gap. The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path. This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. The onus for resolving this crisis should not be placed on the backs of working and middle-class New Yorkers. If we do not fix this structural imbalance and do not heed the calls of New Yorkers to raise taxes on the wealthy, this crisis will not disappear. It will simply return, year after year, forcing harder and harsher choices each time. And if we do not go down the first path, the city will be forced down a second, more harmful path. Faced with no other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
Would rather do is ensure that they remain as they are so that the city can be on firm financial footing. However, in order to get to this point of closing the gap on both this fiscal year and the next fiscal year, we are forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits trust reserve, and to increase property taxes across these other years.
Ooh, look at this. All right, let's stop. Everybody stop. Look at this old fat fucking dork who decided to come in here and let me know I'm part of the problem. Independent Nate, who objectively looks at both sides of the aisle, tries to do things fairly, tries to give a fair, unbiased look at everything that's going on in politics and everything that's happened. Let's stop. Let's all stop and just take a moment to look at this fat fucking douchey dork who's letting me know that I'm part of the problem. Yep. Everybody take a look at this guy. You're fucking probably 40 pounds overweight. You're bald. Yep. Gray hair. You should probably get in shape. You need to get on TRT. You look like fucking dog shit. I'm sure your wife is utterly disappointed that she married you. Your kids are probably absolutely fucking despise you because you're probably a terrible father, I can tell, because you don't keep yourself in shape, right? So you can't be an example to your children whatsoever. So yeah, man, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm probably the problem, man. Why don't you get a fucking gym membership, go lose 50 fucking pounds before you say a fucking another word negatively on my channel, you fat dorky fuck. There we go. Okay. So there we go. We got that one. Yeah, just be smart about trying to talk shit in my channel, especially if you're just a fat douchey dork when Nate very clearly is not. I don't want to roast you as a man. I really don't. But when you talk shit first, I will let you know. You are a giant fucking pussy. You're a fat douche. Go somewhere else, man. And instead of watching my live stream for 4 hours, go to Planet Fitness. I'd highly suggest it. Why don't you get on YouTube and look up some nutritional content? That could probably help you out too. Okay, let's get back to it before we had that fat douche try to talk shit in here. Is that what you expected was going to happen tonight when you made that comment? Probably not, because look at the chat. Chat's all laughing at you too, you fat dork. Okay, here we go. He doesn't look fat. Oh, yes, he fucking does. I can see by his jowls and his fucking chin, dude. Look, do we want to play this game? We can play this game. We can play this game. Hold on. I just posted this. I just posted this tonight. We want to talk about who knows what being in shape is? That's today. Okay. I think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to fitness. So, yeah, you fat piece of shit. Not that I have any problem with fat people, I don't. But when you're going to talk shit, that's who you're talking shit to, bud. So chill out. Okay, let's get back to it. All right. Now, let's move back into what we were talking about here before we got derailed by that fat dork. Oh, Zoran. So, yes. Unfortunately for Zoran, they don't have the money that they need. And so how are they going to get the money for all the programs that he needs to do? Well, he's got two choices. He can raise taxes on the rich, or he can raise taxes on everyone through raising property taxes. That's not good. A lot of people are not going to like that. A lot of people are not going to like that. I don't know how he's about to fix the problem, but that's what he signed up for. New York signed up for that, right? You got the socialist that's in charge. And hey, I said when Zoran got elected, hey, let him put his policy into place and see if it works. I said that. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does work, it does work. But at the moment, it doesn't look like he's got a very good plan to make it work. So we'll just have to wait and see for old Zoran. But no, ew, dude. God, what is with my chat tonight? Ew, no, we're not normalizing taxes. No. Oh, God, dude. Okay. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not gonna freak out. No, we don't need to normalize raising property taxes on everyday people. Absolutely fucking not. What are we doing? What are we doing here, guys? Come on. That's not what we need. We're not trying to jack taxes up on everyday Americans. No. Okay. Here we go. Here's another one. He's in a lot of trouble for a couple different things. Yes, Hakeem Jeffries, AIPAC's #1 guy, is in the Epstein files. He was invited to a private meeting with Jeffrey Epstein in 2013 in an effort to help win the House majority. Now, we've seen this before. I wish I had the clip because, God damn it, it's such a good clip, and it just came out yesterday. If you guys didn't see, Hakeem Jeffries got pressed in an interview yesterday and was asked, will you agree to not take any money from AIPAC? And I wish I had the clip, guys. I do have it. I forgot to put it in here. Hakeem Jeffries' response was, I will continue to accept money from the people that I accept money from, aka AIPAC. So he just straight up was like, to the interviewer, he was straight up like, nah, I'm going to take that Israel money and you can go fuck yourself. So again, Democrats, please, we need a referendum on these people. Left and right, we need a referendum on these people. They all got to go. Yes. Left or right. Neocon, pro greatest ally, fucking neocons have got to go. They have to get the fuck out of here. We got to have, and I'm telling you, all the Democrats in the chat, you have to, in the primaries, be looking for who are the neocons, who are the pro AIPAC candidates. You guys have to also just like Republicans, although Republicans are probably even worse about this at this point. You got to have a referendum on these people. No more neocons. No more people that want to take fucking millions of dollars from AIPAC, Republican or Democrat. You can't vote for any of them. In my opinion, you guys can do whatever you want, but there's that. Last one for Democrats. You guys remember Mark Kelly? Pete Hegseth was going to demote him and, try him for what? Treason or something, because he said you're not allowed to follow illegal orders. You guys remember that story, right? Well, they tried to prosecute him for it, and turns out that no, the court that the Department of War was going to try him through said no, and they turned the case down. So now Pete Hegseth is trying to appeal the judge's ruling that is blocking him from punishing Mark Kelly. So also, we've said 100 times on the show, Pete Hegseth trying to demote Mark Kelly for saying you're not supposed to follow illegal orders was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm glad to see that. I'm not a fan. I've said this a million times on the channel. I'm not a fan of Mark Kelly at all, or his politics, or a lot of things, but he is a veteran. He's a combat veteran. He is a Valor Award recipient combat veteran. And so I will always support him in that regard, especially when it comes to trying to demote him and take away retirement pays. Fuck off, Pete Hegseth, with that. And so that was actually great to see. Great to see that the court system told Pete Hegseth and the Department of War to go fuck themselves, and that they will not allow Mark Kelly to be indicted for that. So that should be a thumbs up to all the veterans in the space and just everybody in general, right? We don't need to see literal. I'm going to call him a hero, all right? Little American war heroes. You got a bunch. He's got multiple Valor Awards. Yeah, whether I agree with you on a political level or not, if you're a fucking Valor Award recipient combat veteran, I'm always going to have your back against corruption and authoritarianism. So, yeah, glad to see, even though I don't agree with him politically, that Mark Kelly is being vindicated from that, and the Department of War is being told to go fuck themselves. Just good to see as a veteran, right? Because that was just the dumbest thing ever to begin with. Okay. Where are we at now? Where are we at? Oh shit, guys. So here's what I'm thinking about doing. Me and JD, I don't know if JD's still in here. We were thinking about, guys, I started a Rumble channel. Finally. I don't even know what it is. I should have connected it tonight. I didn't. But what we're thinking about doing, guys, going into the future. Oh, there's JD. What we're talking about doing is, JD's talking about starting a Rumble channel too. But what we're thinking about doing on this channel is, once we get to this section of the show, we're thinking about heading over to our the Rumble channel so we can say whatever the fuck we want over there about our greatest ally. All right. So I haven't set it up yet. Well, I set the Rumble channel up. But maybe we'll do that by Friday. Twitch too. I did set up a Twitch channel too. I set up both of them. And so that way, when we get to the highly controversial part of the channel, we can move it over to Rumble. Okay. So again, we're not completely set up yet, but we're getting there. I know you guys don't like Rumble, but think about this. JD, who's in the chat right now, just had his fucking YouTube channel banned for a week for basically nothing. Nothing. He didn't deserve it at all. So, from a content creator standpoint, guys, for me, it's a little bit safer. Okay. Yeah, we'll have a link. It'll be, so the way we'll do it is we'll have, I was gonna live stream to both, but I haven't told you guys about it yet. So I didn't want to do it on this show. But what we're going to do is we'll live stream on both Rumble and YouTube at the same time. And then once we get to the end of the show, then it'll be the very end of the show, right? We'll do our regular show. And then when we get into our really controversial stuff, then we'll put that at the end of the show. And then we'll just move over to Rumble, cut the YouTube off. So again, it'll be the very end of the show. You'll get your regular programming here on YouTube. And then when we get to the controversial stuff, we'll move over there. And it also, guys, what it allows us to do is in the event that we get banned on YouTube, that way you're already following me over on Rumble, and it's kind of like a backup. That's what it's going to be. It's not going to be the main platform. It's going to be a backup. So anyway, Kick. I've thought about doing Kick. I feel like Kick is for Gen Z. You know what I mean? That's where like Clavicular and all the Wazoo boys are at. So I could look into Kick, but Rumble just seems easier. Anyway, guys. All right. We're getting into the we're getting into the sketchy part of the show that can get us in trouble. Luckily, how deep are we at? We're 3 hours in. Fuck. We haven't even finished the regular programming at 3 hours in. That's not good, guys. We're supposed to be done by 2 hours with the regular scheduled programming. We got to get through this. Okay, we got some okay, let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's just jump into it. Fuck it. And then we'll do super chats at the end. Because we've been going hard. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Little tweet from Donald Trump, who says, I have just finished a meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel and various of his representatives. It's a very good meeting. The tremendous relationship between our two countries continues. There was nothing definitive reached other than I insisted that negotiations with Iran continue to see whether or not a deal can be consummated. If it can, I let the Prime Minister know that will be a preference. If it cannot, we will just have to see the outcome. Last time Iran. Yeah. So while that's going on, I don't know if you guys saw this, as we're threatening to bomb and invade Iran, this is what Iran is up to. Iran is burning statues of Baal, depending on how you want to say it, with Star of David in the forehead. If you know what they believe in, there's that. But here we go. I'm not going to play that music. It'll get me copyrighted, but here you go. So, yes, the demon that Satanists, sacrifice children to, Iran is lighting on fire. Be honest, that kind of seems like something we should be doing here. JD says Nate's now banned. Yeah, I'm okay with what Iran is doing there. Burning the demonic effigy who's behind satanic children sacrifice. I don't really have a problem with that. I really don't have a problem with that. I think that's kind of a good thing. And while they're doing that, our country is doing this. Let me show you. This is what we are up to, ladies and gentlemen. While Iran is burning effigies of Baal, this is what America's doing. There you go. Yeah. U.S. president putting in the chair for Bibi like he's his little peasant. Okay. Let's keep moving. And again, these are things that are in the files, but also not just in the files. Let's see what these people think about us. All right. Goyim were born only to serve us. Without that, they have no place in the world. Only to serve the people of Israel. Why are Gentiles needed? They will work, they will plow, they will reap. We will sit like an effendi and eat. That is why Gentiles were created. And that's one of the main rabbis in Israel. Also, pretty much exactly what Epstein was talking about in the files, and Alan Dershowitz and everybody he was talking to. Yeah, they say it out loud, guys. They don't hide it. And at some point, we're going to have to acknowledge that this is the way these people think about us on the world stage. And in our own country, this is what we have happening. If you guys haven't seen this, this is Randy Fine. Yes, Israel's Randy Fine. In a vote that would outlaw Israel boycotts, watch Randy Fine. This is, I can't believe he hasn't been thrown out of Congress for this.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery.
Hey, did you see what he just did? I'm going to play it one more time. He just voted for, I believe, 5 different people without them knowing on a bill. Watch, here he goes. Yeah. How is that dude not thrown out of Congress? He can literally do that? He can just fucking sketchily panic and go vote for a bunch of people like that? How is he not arrested and thrown out of Congress? Well, we know why he's not going to be. 0 consequences for that. Exactly. How is he not? You're all right. You're all right on this. That fucking was caught on camera in Congress, and they're doing fucking nothing about it. He just voted for, what was that, 6 different people without them knowing at their stations? We're talking about voting on policy in Congress. And that we're allowing that to happen? No punishment. No nothing. Okay. Here's another one. Here's a picture. I don't know if you guys can see it back there. This is a rough picture to look at. Here's Epstein with a fucking toddler. What's behind him here on the chalkboard? That is Greater Israel, as you can see. And yes, as it says here, Epstein was Mossad. The entire operation was a Zionist one for blackmail. Greater Israel is scrawled onto a chalkboard while a child eats in Epstein's presence. Also, what did Ben Shapiro say? Epstein was a Russian asset. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Here's some more. And while we're all busy worrying about what everything's going on, North Carolina Senator Ted Budd has introduced a bill called the U.S.-Israel Futures Act. This was 3 days ago, by the way. That would give Israel access to our most advanced U.S. technology using American taxpayer money. So, great. That's exactly what we want, right? Isn't that what America wants? Is to give all of our military industrial secrets away to our greatest ally? Yay. Okay, here we go. Let's keep moving. This one's epic if you haven't seen this.
Hang on a second. You mean if he'd said he was working with the Mossad or CIA, then he would get off being a pedophile? In other words, you can commit crimes of pedophilia.
He wasn't accused of being
children,
No,
and you would simply not go to prison for it.
That's right. He ended up 18 months in prison.
That's right. What Alan Dershowitz said to Piers Morgan was, well, let me explain the argument Alan Dershowitz was making. He was trying to claim that Epstein wasn't Mossad. And his claims was, if Epstein was Mossad, then he would have been able to get off on all the pedophilia charges. That's what Alan Dershowitz, Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, and Donald Trump's one of his best friends had to say about Mossad. Is that if you are Mossad in America, you can commit acts of pedophilia and crime, and you can get away with it. And we will let you off, and we will send you right back to our greatest ally. He said that live on television. Yeah, again, just pointing these things out to everybody. Also, another one that I called to the T about why we were actually getting involved in Venezuela. Look at this. Yup. Venezuela sends its first oil shipment to Israel in years in sign of relations improving. Bloomberg. Whoa. No way. It's almost like we said exactly that a month ago. Crazy. And now it's happening. No way. All right. This is a great post. I love this one. All right. There's 9 types of politicians in the United States. 1, bought by Israel, blackmailed by Israel, dual citizenship of Israel, scared of Israel, dating Mossad agent from Israel, married to Mossad agent from Israel, Mossad agent from Israel, killed by Israel, and then number 9, Thomas Massey, Ro Khanna, and Tim Burchett. I would take Tim Burchett off that and just say Thomas Massey, Ro Khanna. So, yeah, that's pretty much that's Congress. There it is. You fall into one of those 9 camps. You don't know who it is. MTG too. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene would be in there too, for sure. For sure, Adam. But my point being, other than like 6 people in Congress, you fall in somewhere through 1 through 8. That's just American politics, baby. And I can show it to you right fucking here. Do you guys know Netanyahu showed up for the 6th time in a year? 6 times in a year. Every 2 months, this motherfucker shows up to America to beg for something. Let's see how Congress reacted to him showing up. Here we go.
This is
Mr. Speaker,
unbelievable.
the Prime Minister of the State of Israel.
This is Netanyahu in Congress. Right, so he comes in, they're all clapping, all shaking his hand. I'm going to fast forward to when he gets to
like a superstar. This is like Drake, Kendrick Lamar showing up at their concert.
Podium. Okay, so it takes him about 2 minutes to get to the podium. He's reached the podium. They're clapping. Sit back and watch. Relax and watch this. This is America.
This is America, baby.
And people make fun of North Korea. You know those videos of North Koreans and they're all clapping? It's time to hold up a mirror and look at yourself.
This is for a war criminal, by the way, that is committing a genocide.
It's not going to end soon either. It's going to stay going.
I might go use the bathroom because it's going to take a while.
Even Netanyahu is taken back by it. Look at him. And later on, he seems pissed off almost. The Congress members are basically ejaculating at the sight of him.
This is real, by the way.
We're going to have to clean up the place afterwards. Look at this.
Members of Congress, I now have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you His Excellency Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel.
His Excellency. His Excellency. That's how he was introduced in the American halls of Congress. Oh, Ben Shapiro's burner account showed up. But for the